Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call, Mr. Toth.
Yes. Mr. Biro Patel.
Here.
Mr. Romano.
Here.
Ms. Peng.
Here.
Ms. White.
Here.
Mr. Schneider.
Here.
Mr. Rivera.
Here.
Mr. Vishal Patel.
Present.
Ms. Anjana Patel.
Here.
Mr. Lugo.
Here.
You have quorum.
Thank you. Opening statement.
Yes, in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, 1973, C-231 Sunshine Law, the Edison Township Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Board of Education administrative offices. Copies of these notices were sent to the Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger.
Thank you. Today we have a couple of presentations. The first one is for varsity tutors, free tutoring. Many of you may have heard about it. Mr. Rick Cohen.
Thank you, Board, for this opportunity. First, I want to congratulate everybody for all your success, our students, parents, and staff. Congrats on a great school year. I promise I'll be super quick. I did want to let everybody know that, while I come from the academic office, and we are super excited for everyone to enjoy summer, go on some water slides, but no summer slides. And so in order to help you out with avoiding the summer slide, and also we don't want you to spend too much time on social media because there's all this research that says it turns your brain to mush a little bit. So an alternative would be there's some free, great learning but fun opportunities that you can have from on demand. It's on ClassLink, so you can click on Varsity Tutors. And on this platform, you'll find a lot of great fun things that you can do at home during the summer or from your phone, including 24/7 chat tutoring. So if you're taking any online courses and maybe teachers aren't around or accessible in the summer, you can get any help anytime you need. There is also great weekly classes. So if you're bored and wondering what to do, you can learn about coding or game design. If you're thinking about the PSATs or the SATs, and summer's a good time, you have some free time to do some of those practice tests. There's a lot of great resources there to help you get ready for college and the entrance exams. There's a lot of fun courses led by some interesting celebrities. Again, you can learn to do some brain teasers and some fun games. And this presentation will be posted on the website. There's a video that has lots more information. Again, go to ClassLink, go to Varsity Tutors, lots of great stuff. And then I also just want to give a shout out. We have this program for the next 5 years, and there's 24/7 tutoring. So at any time, at any point, you're getting ready for school, you want to unmush your brain or undo the summer slide, get ready. There's a lot of great resources there for you. Don't worry about school next year. You need help at any point. It's right at their fingertips. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Thanks. Congrats again, everybody, and have a great night.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cohen. We hope everyone takes advantage of this free tutoring program and just get better grades. Next is our rock star, Dr. Aldarelli, and our BA, Mr. Toth, for finance, for the facilities upgrade presentation.
All right. How you doing, folks? Yeah?
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like you're doing it. How's everybody doing? All right, good deal. So listen, this is one of the best board meetings of the year because it's kind of the culmination of all of the hard work from our students, our staff, our administrators, and our parents. And so we're really looking forward to this. So I promise this piece and this presentation is going to be short, but wherever we have a captive audience, Mr. Toth and I like to do just a little bit of a presentation along with the Board of Education to show all the hard work other than kind of the academics that we're doing. So without any further, Ms. Daniel, you'll click. Yeah, you got it. I trust you with those pieces. So right now we're just going to do an overview of some of the expansion projects, construction and modernization of our schools that are currently underway, in progress, and also in the planning phases. So moving right along. All right.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. Perfect. We got Edison High School, home of the Eagles. How about anybody from Edison right here? No?
A little quiet tonight.
Yeah,
Make
a little quiet
noise.
tonight. Yeah, so moving forward, part of our phases here, that previous boards as well as this board have endorsed are classroom expansions, modernizations. We're looking at classroom, orchestra, beautification of the front offices, new vestibules here at Edison High School. Really looking forward to those pieces. And the great part about this is that Mr. Ross is not only hands-on in this approach, but really has a good vision for what the school is going to look like. So we compliment him. Congratulations on another successful school year. Perfect. Number 2. All right. Or 3. And 4. So this is the part where there's usually like a musical interlude or something along those lines to kill dead space. Sure. All right, looks like it's moving right along now. Great. We also have an Edison Success Academy. A couple years ago, the Board of Education purchased a property directly across from Menlo Park. We are currently turning this into a Success Academy for select groups of students. This project has been currently underway. It's going to provide a path for our most at-risk students currently right now, and we're really excited about the opening of this program. Ms. Meredith Quick, who is the principal of the Success Academy, has had hands-on experience along with Mr. Toth, Mr. Colobus. I know that Dr. Tui, as well as Kate Gausman and Rick Cohen have been intimately involved in this as well, too. So we're really excited about these pieces. A lot of moving parts that are currently going on, and we appreciate all the hard work that they're doing. And here we go. We got Hoover. Mr. McGrath is also hands-on, every detail of every aspect of the school, including this brand new custom kitchen, a beautiful gymnasium that has an unbelievable mascot there that has been drawn. I think freehand from Mr. McGrath too, correct? No? Yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
100%.
But we are so excited for the opening of this of September 24, and it's really going to provide a nice flow between the cafeteria into the gymnasium. So congratulations to all involved in that. We have our upcoming plan to JMI as well, too. Classroom edition. Yeah. All right.
Gym.
And the gymnasium as well. We have Jams. Jams did a makeover of their locker rooms to accommodate our most talented musicians and orchestra and choir. And we also are looking at a brand new gymnasium there. Dr. Valentine is always hands-on in those experiences, so we applaud her efforts there, every detail of those pieces. And we're also looking forward to additional completion of phases in JAMS for Classroom Edition as part of our Phase 1 commitment to making sure that we're modernizing and expanding our programs. What's great about Marshall? What's the magic of Marshall? Where are we? All right. The magic of Marshall. There we go. So the magic of Marshall is also getting a makeover. Classroom renovations, modernization of the front of the school building. We have a gymnasium as well. Really looking forward to it. I mean, if you could, how exciting are these images of the upcoming pieces right now? Yeah, there's a lot of buzz around it. And thanks to Ms. Hoffman's decorating pieces right there, the school's looking to look beautiful. Also part of Phase 1. JPS, yeah. All right. Mr. Toth, those are footings, Mr. Toth?
You have what you have there is you have the foundations and footings going for the, I believe, 28 classroom edition. So
all right.
A lot more space.
Excellent, excellent. Much needed space over at JPS right there. Beautiful layout. Really looking forward to the expansion of this project, as well as a brand new renovated auditorium, which is what you see right here on the initial phases. So, we have an auditorium on the south end of town. We're going to beautify one on the north end of town to house the unbelievable talents of our music program and band program. We're really excited about that. So, congratulations to everybody involved in that process. All right, we got Thomas Jefferson, I think, is next in the batting order. Is that correct? TJ, we got a gym at TJ. I walked around this with Principal Ebden, who knew every nook and cranny of these places. We've got a new entranceway. We've got some different office spaces right there. Going to open up the front way, going to make it more inviting for students to come and congregate in the morning. We did some bathroom renovations there as well. Really exciting project, and a lot of work going on. Moms and dads and students and Board of Education members should be really proud of all the work that's happening here in Edison Township. It really is amazing. Moving on to the next one, Woodrow. We got another locker room conversion. We're making some classroom space down there. All right, Miss Blevins knows each and every aspect of this project as well too. She took me on a really nice tour, showed me all the ins and the outs, and the classroom space is really magnificent. I believe some bathrooms off of those classroom spaces too as well. And here is the gymnasium also. And bathrooms off the gymnasium. The bathrooms look done already too. So so the gym space, bathrooms, and additional classroom space, much needed over at Woodrow too. One of our largest, actually the largest middle school. So yeah, great. And this is just kind of a culmination of everything towards the end right now. We've got a lot of stuff that are coming in the upcoming phases that we will tackle, but we wanted to make sure that all of phase one that previous boards have put together and this board has fully endorsed is ready to roll. We would be remiss if we didn't highlight our ROD grant projects, which will provide air conditioning in, yes, gotta, right? Which will provide air conditioning in some of the spaces in the elementary school. I believe FDR as well in its
that's
entirety. Perfect. So, and again, I want to thank you so much. You should actually applaud the people that are on the stage currently right now, as well as previous Board of Education members who have, and previous administrations too, who have made a commitment to addressing the overcrowding issue in an unbelievably swift manner. So thank you so much for all of your support, and I'm going to turn it back over to our Board of Education president.
Could we do a quick survey? Who wants air conditioning?
All right, so thank you so much, Dr. Eldarelli. Now, after our rock star Dr. Eldarelli's presentation, this report is going to be very boring. You can write bad reviews about me, but if there and you can sleep. There is nice air conditioning here in this room. But if there is something you like in this report, which is music to your ears, please make sure you applaud and cheer for it. And you will hear some of those in this report. That's what I promise. All right, so welcome to our June meeting. As we reach the midpoint of the calendar year, this meeting is also the last Board of Education action meeting of our students' academic year. I would like to take a moment to highlight some of the significant achievements and progress that we have made in the last 6 months. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Rick Cohen, Mr. Rick Cohen, for his outstanding work with Varsity Tutors. Thank you so much. It's been very helpful. Additionally, a special thanks to our rockstar Dr. Eldarelli for providing us with vital facilities updates, and to our BA, Mr. Todd, and very importantly, our facilities director, Mr. Bill Colibas. Thank you so much for the great job you have all done together the past 6 months. That's a lot of progress made in this area. We have almost completed or almost moving forward with everything in phase one. Thank you so much, all of you. Huge thanks to Heather Daniel for all the wonderful contributions made throughout this first half of the year, including newsletters, communications, policy updates, and social media updates, all done single-handedly. Thank you so much, Heather Daniel. Among many of our achievements is this year maintaining the same fee for the bus subscription service without any tax increase. Your bus subscription service fee stays the same. Yes, you heard it right, so this is one of the music to your ears. Furthermore, despite of the fact that we have no tax increase on the school portion, we are going to continue to provide free breakfast for all the children in the upcoming school year. Because the studies show that the students who participate in the school breakfast exhibit decreased behavioral and psychological problems and lower rates of absences. So make sure you're all present in the school most of the time and enjoy the free breakfast. Last Wednesday, June 12th, we celebrated 50th anniversary of Woodrow Wilson Middle School. Now, Woodrow Wilson Middle School, despite of being our youngest middle school in terms of when it was built, it reminds us of our aging infrastructure in our district. The board remains committed to upgrading our facilities, which we will see more progress for in coming months. Really applaud the work of the administration for the celebrations, Mrs. Jen Bluvins, Mrs. Bandirata, and Mr. Zecchino. It was a pleasure to meet Woodrow Wilson's first principal in that wonderful celebration as well. Now, coming back to the hot topic for the hot weather. Quite a few parents have expressed concerns about lack of air conditioning in our schools, especially during this hot weather. Today, the schools closed early due to high temperatures. This situation remains reminiscent of what we faced in the beginning of this school year, if you remember in September. It underscores the need for a comprehensive plan to address climate control in our buildings. Imagine 2 weeks like this. Will we close early every single day for 2 weeks if that were to happen? We cannot remain dependent on the weather gods. Just as learning cannot happen, which I touched in my earlier statement, just as learning cannot happen on an empty stomach. If there are climate safety issues, the students cannot learn appropriately. I personally believe air conditioning must be installed in every single school building where the infrastructure challenges do not exist. The other day, I, along with some other administrative members, were at senior awards night. It was a really hot day, but much lesser than today. I saw people, the parents, who were constantly fanning themselves with those hands that should have been used for clapping and cheering for their kids who are getting awards. Now remember, this board and previous boards for the last 4 years had 0% tax increases. So when people talk about taxes, the taxes have not gone up for the school portion in last 4 years. Implementing air conditioning will incur cost, but it seems a necessity, especially on days like this. I had asked our superintendent, Dr. Eldarelli, about this, and Dr. Eldarelli has a plan, and he will go over that momentarily. And in 2022, this board, the previous board, started to put a comprehensive plan together to put air conditioning in every single school building. At present, our architects are working on a long-range facility plan. I will ask Dr. Eldarelli and Mr. Toth to direct our architects to make sure air conditioning is included in our long-range facilities plan, and when that's completed, the board should immediately review and act upon it. In addition to that, we had our ad hoc culture and climate committee, which met this month. It was a huge success. Several parents joined and provided valuable feedback. The thought exchange is open till June 30th for anyone to fill out. We encourage everyone to fill out. On that note, for the ad hoc thought exchange, this afternoon, the board, the communications committee, sent out a survey to all the parents as a part of Communication Committee initiative. I encourage every single parent who can is able to complete this survey, as it represents a very important step in seeking and valuing parent feedback as we move forward as a district. With graduation approaching Friday, I want to extend my best wishes to all graduating seniors of both the high schools. This is a significant milestone for everyone, and we are very proud of your achievements. I would also like to express gratitude to all the principals, all the parents, all the students, all educators, staff members, and our entire central office administration for their hard work and dedication the entire year. Your commitment is what makes our district thrive and shine. Remember, we are one Edison. On Thursday, June 6th, I had the honor of attending JP Stevens Senior Awards Night, a wonderful event recognizing the achievements of our students. Student recognition, along with staff recognition, is one of the most rewarding aspects of being a Board of Ed member and of Board of Ed meetings. I would second to what Dr. Aldarelli said. This is one of the best nights of the year. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. This evening and this year as a whole, we have a record-breaking list of student recognition. And I could not be more prouder, and I would wholeheartedly thank Mr. Thomas White, Supervisor of Visual Arts and Music, for putting the wonderful student recognition list together. Thank you so much. Now, to all the students who are recognized or not, your hard work and dedication make our district proud. For those who are recognized today, this is your moment. Let's have a huge round of applause for all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight, and let's continue to work together to make the second half of the year as successful as the first half. I wish all of our students and families a great summer. That being said, without any further delay, we'll start with the recognition. First, we would like to recognize our hardworking student council representatives here. I would ask Dr. Aldarelli to read their names, and we'll hand over certificates.
Okay. So right now, we would like to recognize our student representatives that sit up here with the Board of Education members that have been an active part of our process here, and their input is always valued. So I know we have a couple that are currently sitting up on the stage right now, as well as others that have participated in this. So I am going to briefly read the names, right? And we can get the certificates later. All right. Edison High School President Sharvri Padamamni. Edison High School Vice President Mohammed Hadi. Edison High School Secretary Vadik Apudai. Edison High School Treasurer Suri Arthi Senthilkumar. All right. JP Stevens High School Co-President Aaron Bansal. JP Stevens High School Co-President, also a strategic plan member as well, too, right? All right, Bill Tang, my man. First Vice President, JP Shivani Patel. Second VP is Nathaniel Williams. High School Corresponding Secretary, Ruben Thika, Siva Prakasini, Vera Siku, and High School Recording Secretary, Rena Robinson. Congrats.
Thank you so much. You guys contributed a lot to coming to every single board meeting, and we really appreciate that. Now we would pass it on to our superintendent, Dr. Aldarelli, for his comments.
All right, thank you so much, Board President Patel. Ladies and gents, I know I stand between you and student recognition, so I am going to keep my comments brief. I just want to thank everybody. In my first year here as superintendent, I couldn't imagine a better trajectory and a better experience. I thank you so much for not only the support that you've shown me, but it's a privilege to come to work each and every single day, work with the people that are on this stage, our teachers, our building level administrators, supervisory, support staff. Everybody makes the wheels go around over here. I thank you so much for everything. You actually make my job easier, and your support does not go unnoticed. So thank you so much for a wonderful school year. If it were up to me, every board meeting would be like this. Student recognition, upbeat, positive tempo, right? Starting the first year off on a good, first meeting off on a good note, and the culmination of our June meeting is always great. So congratulations to all of the students that are getting recognized. You give yourselves a round of applause. We do have somebody else that was going to be recognized as well this evening. We were just notified recently, I think today, that our board president has received master board member certification, which is a process in which he had to undergo certification classes, things along those lines, which just demonstrates his commitment to the work that we do here in concert with the other board members on the stage. They provided him with a nice plaque that we have right over here, so maybe a round of applause for Mr. Patel. All right, and on behalf of NJSBA, you are now a certified Master Board of Education member. Congratulations, Mr. Patel. Perfect. And then maybe a quick picture. All right, maybe a quick picture. Yep, perfect. Coming up. Oh, great. Mr. Patel would like to invite all the board members up into the front right now for a quick picture. Probably go in front of the dais, right? Yeah. Where do you think, Heather? In front of the dais?
Front, but they're going to see my dress.
They're gonna see your dress?
I think I have shorts on underneath, so it's fine. I have shorts on. Let's just do it. It'll be fun. Come on.
Right here.
Probably should go in front. It'll look nicer. No? Or let me get out of the way.
All right, and that concludes my comments at this moment. Currently, Mr. Patel, I will turn the floor over back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Aldarelli. For those who are asleep, please be awake now because this is your moment. I would like to invite Mr. Thomas White for the student recognitions.
Now you guys put me in a really tough spot because I have to follow up air conditioning. Good evening, everyone. My name's Tom White. I'm Supervisor of Visual and Performing Arts. I would like to welcome you here today for our June Student Recognition Night. Before we begin, I'd like to do a couple thank yous. I'd like to thank the Board of Education, Dr. Aldarelli, and our Central Office Administration for hosting this event. I would also like to thank my secretaries, Marianne and Judy, who did an amazing job putting a lot of the paperwork together. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to retire tomorrow with the amount of kids that we had this time around, because this is our largest recognition night program that I've ever seen personally since I've been a supervisor here at Edison. With that said, typically what we would do is ask you all to stay here till the culmination of the program, but what we're going to do is call a brief intermission after we introduce the elementary school students and allow them to leave real quick, because as you can see, looking left and right, we're at standing room only right now, and that'll allow more chairs to open up for everyone who's standing. Without further ado, let's begin our program. First, I would like to introduce Donna Abadamarco, principal of James Madison Intermediate School.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Aldarelli, and to the Edison Board of Education for allowing us to recognize our amazing students this evening. I am honored to come before you tonight as the proud principal of James Madison Intermediate School to congratulate the following students for being accepted into the New Jersey State Elementary Choir under the tutelage of our wonderful music teachers, Miss Becky Tarby and Mr. Brian Harkavy. Students, please stand if you're not already when I say your name. Shreya Ashok, Sharvi Kathukar, Napur Kulkarni, Lulua Merchant, Nethra Narayanan, Debakshi Chowdhury, Rayan Tristagi, and Maheen Solat. Congratulations, JMI Knights, and congratulations to all the students being recognized this evening. I would now like to introduce Mr. Duggan and Dr. Feldman, the principal and vice principal of Menlo Park Elementary School.
Thank you, Mrs. Abadamarco. Thank you, board. Thank you, Dr. Aldarelli. We would like to announce for Crescendo International Competition first place at Carnegie Hall, Natalie Shen. And moving on to our Odyssey of the Mind team, second place regional tournament, Team 3, opening night antics. We have Anya Sharma. Please stand when I call your name. Make sure you stand up when we call your name. Gurug Singh. Yash Sherjuice, Arun Ekbodi, Daniel La, Ayan Verma, and Nisa Vidya. Dr. Feldman's going to introduce our other team.
Team 5, Rocking World Detour, second place in the regional tournament. Sanveer Soin, Yash Pupala, Sanjana Murugasan, Shrutika Jayakumar, Tanishka Girdar, Arna Patel, Minahil Saqib. Thank you to Mrs. Blair and Mrs. Selesky for being the advisors.
This time I'd like to introduce Lisa Dadelbach, our vice principal at MLK.
Thank you, Dr. Aldarelli and the board, for a chance to recognize our amazing Blue Lions. Today, we celebrate the incredible achievements of not one, but two outstanding Odyssey of the Mind teams and their dedicated coaches, Ms. Vogel and Mrs. Kai. Your hard work, creativity, and perseverance have truly paid off, culminating in an unforgettable journey to the world's competition in Iowa. Before I call the students' names, I just want to send a special shout out to Miss Ruth Vogel. She's retiring this year and has big shoes to fill in our OM club, so she'll be greatly missed. Congrats, Miss Vogel. And cheers to our OM champions. So we have two teams, third place World Finals, first place New Jersey State Finals in Deep Space Structure. Ritvik, so stand when I say your name, Ritvik Srinivasan, Zara Jairwala, Akshara Deshpande, Sahasra Saravalan, Sia Gawande, Darshil Mali, Myra Dutta. For our second team, seventh place World Finals, first place New Jersey State Finals for Rocking the World Detour, Ashvika Chowdhury, Nish Badiani, Shrija Ghosh, Amey Maheshwari, Prajusha Yeola, Kavya Agarwal, and Annika Jain. Thank you. Before I call the next principal, I'm going to go a little off script real quick for one last recognition. I want to shout out our fifth grader, Aditya Merchandani, for winning the George Lechner Medal for achieving a perfect score in the Math Olympiad Elementary Division. Congratulations. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the principal of Thomas Jefferson Middle School, the school I started at when I started at Edison, Miss Antoinette Emden.
Intermission.
Oh, sorry. Intermission.
This is that brief intermission I was talking about. We're going to reconvene at 7:45 Apple time. All right, so if our elementary students would like to leave, that's fine, and then I'll make room for our other parents here for our secondary portion of our program. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is my pleasure to introduce Antoinette Emden, principal of Thomas Jefferson Middle School.
Good evening. I'd like to thank Dr. Aldarelli and the Edison Board of Education for providing an opportunity to recognize student excellence beyond the classroom. Students, when you hear your name, please stand. Under the direction of the FCCLA advisor, Mr. Hugo Estevez, I'd like to recognize Pernitha Shulori, first place silver for the category Food Innovations, and Aryan Oswal, first place gold for the category Bread Basics.
All right.
Under the direction of the Odyssey of the Mind advisors, Mrs. Kristen Peterson and Ms. Erica Levy, I'd like to congratulate the following students for achieving second place in the regional competition and sixth place in the state competition: Roshni Sivakamor, Pranav Chandran, Catherine DeLog, Emily Himber, Sabam Dal, Twisha Argawal. Under the direction of Mrs. Melissa Bienvenu, the following students placed 5th out of 43 teams for the Middlesex County Academy Math Competition: John Cephas Ahulu, Panak Paul Chandri, Siddharth Kugnali, Alicia Kajani. Congratulations. Under the direction of our head coach, Ms. Kelly Ryan, I'd like to recognize the students of Thomas Jefferson Middle School girls basketball team for winning this year's Edison Township Middle School basketball tournament. Please stand when you hear your name. Emma Fajardo, Aaliyah Johnson, Gabriella Shuck, Alice Shao, Maleke Ilamahana, Delaney Pelicane, Kaylee Smith, Carmela Arana, Alana Edwards, Sophia Pecora, Peyton Pelicane, Susan Oshinsky, and Eva Simone. Congratulations. Under the direction of Ms. Deidre Pascarelli, I'd like to recognize Johnny Wren for CJMEA Intermediate Region Orchestra and All-State Intermediate Orchestra. Congratulations. Congratulations to all the students and advisors recognized tonight. It is now my honor to introduce the principal of John Adams Middle School, Dr. Valentine.
Good evening. I am honored to be here before you tonight and representing John Adams Middle School and all of the students being recognized tonight, specifically the Jamazing students of John Adams. So we'll begin with FCCLA. Congratulations to the following students, along with their advisor, Ms. Sego. First place gold, Civic Engagement, Gia and Soham. Peer-to-peer career connection, Avdi and Shinjani. Peer-to-peer facts, Soham, Kilin, Arav. Peer-to-peer financial fitness, Kushi, Kira, Niha. Program cover design, Arya, Siona, and Arya. Second place gold, cake decorating, Avdi. Gold, Manners Matter, Anusha, Zoya. Storybook effects, Anvita, Ria, and Gia. Yarn art, Sanvi. First place silver, lessons learned, Shinjani. Second place silver, international foods, Alia and Sanvi. Silver, Manners Matter, Aparna and Aditya. Storybook Effects, Ashita, Helly, and Evelyn. And bronze, Toys That Teach, Tirth, Servin, and Ariane. More FCCLA accomplishments, this time under the advisor, Miss Kelsey Whiteford. First place gold, Manners Matter, Sai and Gia. The effective teacher, Aditi and Ria. Second place gold, civic engagement, Ayana and Advi. Reinventing spaces, Chatnya. Toys That Teach, Sarah, Anvita, and Annika. Silver, storybook of ethics, Dayuto and Mahika. Window of Fashion, Sanaha and Ria. Yarn Art, Samhita. Bronze, International Foods, Ayana and Shreya. Food Truck Food, Rashida and Trisha. Congratulations to all of our FCCLA accomplishments. Our next award winner had a perfect score on the PSAT 8-9. Must be good DNA in the family because it is the brother of the Martin Luther King student, Siddharth Merchandani. Congratulations, Siddharth. Next up, we have our math awards under the advisors, Miss Megan Doherty and Mr. Sean Artfitch. First place chapter competition, Neil, Srehas, Krishna, and Vabav. Congratulations. For the Math Olympiad, first place, top 25% of all participants, Siddharth, Nithra, Srihas, Neil, and Jay. Honor Roll certificates, top 5% of all students nationally, Neil, Harsith, Srihas, Nithra, Krishna, Amag, and Vabav. Congratulations. Certificate of Achievement, scored over 15 on AMC 8. Krish, congratulations. Middlesex County Academy Math Competition, 5th place, Jospin. 3rd place, Krishna. 2nd place, Vabav. And 1st place, Neil. In the team round, the Big Four, 1st place, Neil, Krishna, Srihas, and Vabav. Congratulations, Odyssey of the Mind. Under the advisor, Mr. Jack Spurnall, 2nd place state finals, AI Techno Art, World's finalists, Navya, Vibhu, Trivita, Gia, Arav, Neil, and Swara. Deep Space Structure, 6th place Worlds, Manav, Kiara, Soham, Ashi, Krishiv, Shintia, and Samantha. Congratulations. Next we have advisor Mr. Jared Borja and the NJACDA All-State Honor Choir, Arushi, Ananya, Anushka, Harish, Harshita, Havila, Jatin, Kavya, Leo, Nikita, Naral, Priyadarshini, Rihan, Ryan, Shivali, Swara, and Vidha. Congratulations. And last, but certainly not least, Mrs. Penny Montana and the CJMEA Region Orchestra NJMEA Vabav Sitaraman. Congratulations to all of our award recipients. And congratulations to our upcoming graduates for the class of 2024. This has been an amazing opportunity. Again, I'm so proud to be here and so grateful. And at this time, I'd like to introduce the principal of Woodrow Wilson Middle School, Mrs. Blevins.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Aldarelli and the Board of Education for recognizing our amazing students tonight. We are so proud of our WW students and all their many accomplishments. We have so many students to recognize tonight, so Mrs. Menderata is here to help us as well. So big round of applause. First up is our orchestra under the direction of Miss Liu, who is retiring after 30 years this year. Our 2024 CJ MEA Intermediate Chamber Orchestra, Paige Wang, Leilani Gopal, Ahana Shah, Jacqueline B. Our 2024 CJ MEA Intermediate String Orchestra, Yashwant Balagurasamy, Catherine Wu, Ahana Hedge. 2024 New Jersey All-State Intermediate Orchestra, Leilani Gopal, Paige Wang, Yashwant Balagurasamy, Jacqueline Bai, Ahana Shah. And on to our chorus. Under the direction of Miss Jasnos, CJ MEA Region 2 Treble Choir, Dadipya Aksapu, Disha Balaji, Gia Holakari, Trisha Holakari, Havisha Gangula, Swara Joshi, Akansha Sharma, Ashani Chakravorty. CJ MEA Region 2 Mixed Choir, Kira Bali, Raya Datta, Anvita Nair, Anakuta Tripathi, Nalani Bharathavajan, Rishabh Girish, Ram Shet, Aryan Tizakani. CJ MEA Region 2 Intermediate Band under the direction of Mr. Fasa. Krishna Sanjay, Saish Kau, Sahil Ghosh, Arav Kumar, Sai Akshita Prudvi, Keshav Menon, Mahi Palawal, Tirth Shah, Shlok Burdu, Raghavir Balaji, Mehakpreet Kaur, and NJAJE Region 2 Intermediate Jazz Band, Krishna Shande, Saish Kaul, Sahil Ghosh. And now moving on to our FCCLA under the advisement of Miss Welch and Miss Patel. For FCCLA Gold, Storyboard Ethics, Sophia Cruzati, Siona Thalaj. Food Truck Feud, Chavi Tiagi. Art of Garden Manager, Charterie, Lionel May. Silver, International Foods, Fatima Khan, Shreya Singh. Bronze, Fashion Runway Career, Iman Wali, Kushi Patel, Rachel Rakara. Math competition team, under the advisement of Miss Jasper, first place, Mount St. Mary's Academy Math Competition, Anjali Chahun. First place, Woodrow Wilson Math Competition, Ahana Shah. Second place, St. Joseph's Mathematics Competition, Rishabh Girish, Ashwin Kirabakaran, Panov Sankar. Third place, St. Joseph's History Bowl, Pranav Venkataraman. Arav Kumar. Third place overall, first place team round, Middlesex County Academy Math Competition, Ahana Shah, Anjali Chauhan, Arav Kumar, Sahil Ghosh. Fourth place, Woodrow Wilson Math Competition, Sahil Ghosh. Math Counts Regional Competition, Ahana Shah, Anjali Chauhan, Arav Kumar, Sahil Ghosh. And top 1% nationwide distinguished honor roll AMC 8 2024, Arav Kumar. We have a first place script spelling bee regional winner and national qualifier who we fully expect to be on ESPN next year, Harini Murali. First place, Middlesex County Science Bowl, Sahil Ghosh, Shartik Wandeki, Saish Kaul, Arav Kumar. Junior Scholastic Follow the Food Research Project, Rutvi Shetty. Sixth Congressional District Middle School, first place Social Justice category awarded by Mr. Frank Pallone is Barrett M. Watang. GMXC Small School Wrestling Champ Chase Sullivan and Kashish Vyas. And we aren't just good in academics, we're also good in sports. We have our Edison Tournament Boys Volleyball Champions. Krish Maheshwari, Rishabh Jain, Navan Kumar, Naaman Jain, Neil Patel, Sujay Budakam, Vihan Sandakar, Ahan Kumar, Aran Shridasvasa, Adya Gala, Kashish Vyas, Kartiki Ayachit, Mohit Rajaj Saravana, Arav Mohindra, Shresh Kuma Purju, James Kobe, Arit Malhotra. Both those athletic teams are under the advisement of their coach, Mr. Papernick. Odyssey of the Mind advisor, Mr. Keith Thomas. First place, The Vehicle Problem Drive-In Movie, Vihan Sandakar. Omar Sheikh, Ashwin Kirubakaran, Shaurya Patel, Rishabh Jain, Shaurya Thakar, Panov Sankar. First place, Performance Problem Rocking World Detour, Naren Haraharam, Avani Parasar, Sia Patel, Jia Hulakari, Japna Dutt, Neev Chakraborty, and Nathan Asariza. Second place, Classics Problem Opening Night Antics, Anika Sawan, Rachel Lopes, Sai Akshita Prudvi, Rachel Robinson, Artie Rao, Tanisha Sharma. Third place, The Vehicle Problem, the Drive-In Movie, Rayansh Badu, Mahana Kumar, Sharanya Gudamadugu, Alakna Arkat Vantel, Sarah Asukumar, Ayush Kucheria, Amar Munir. Odyssey of the Mind, Gateway Region Champion, third place Structure Problem, Deep Space Structure, Yashash Kamarajiga, Atharva Mashalkar, Aditya Gala, Arnav Singh, Adi Bhatia, Ram Sheth Manav Bhatt. Third place, Performance Problem, Rocking World Detour, Mahi Pandya, Rutvi Shetty, Joshua, Rajesh Singh, Dikshita, Butharaju, Vaishnavi, Shaptiga Sashes. Odyssey of the Mind, New Jersey State Champions, first place, The Vehicle Problem Drive-In Movie, Vihan Sandakar, Omar Sheikh, Ashwin Kirubakaran, Shaurya Patel, Rishabh Jain, Shaurya Thakar, Panov Sankar. Greatest History Day Challenge, regional winners, top 5 on grade level, national qualifiers, Karan Kant, Vihan Gandhi, Vihan Kulkarni, Atharva Dake, Krishna Sanjay, Richard Ping. Arav Kumar. Regional winner, national qualifier, Dion Kudapan Sekar, Pratesh Shiraraman Rayaduta. Regional winners, Nishal Hosamani, Akshaya Santosh Kumar, Arav Kumar, Rachel Robinson. Perfect score, PSAT 89, Arav Kumar. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Mandarata to announce FBLA.
Hi, it is my honor to introduce FBLA under the advisement of Ms. Cameron and Ms. Felipe. Before we recognize the students, we would like to share that this year Ms. Cameron and Ms. Felipe were recognized by FBLA as the best advisors for their hard work and dedication. A big round of applause. Now for the student recognition. Business Ethics, second place, Meghna Imedi, Kiara Roy. Fourth place, Nivan Kumar, Tanuj Yakali. For Business Etiquette, first place, Candice Solomon. Career Exploration, second place, Atharva Mashalkar. Third place, Pranati Bandapali. Fourth place, Aarti Rao. Career Research, third place, Vihan Gandhi. Community Service Presentation, second place, Jaya Menon. Dhriti Vora. Aishwarya Senthil. Critical Thinking, first place, Shred Kundara Puruguru. Arav Mahendra. Arav Singh. Third place, Rajshri Randwatkar, Suvali Singh, Rutvi Shet. Digital Citizenship, first place, Shanta Srinivasa Shweta. Second place, Ashwin Kirubakaran. Fourth place, Ane Tandon. Elevator Speech, second place, Ronit Khanna. Third place, Ridit Agarwal. Fourth place, Mohammad Zaki. Second place, Ahana Shah. Shanta Srinivasa Shweta. Pranati Tanuku. Third place, Ashita Mall. Aarti Rao. Exploring Computer Science, third place, Aditya Katimani. Exploring Economics, first place, Arav Mohindra. Second place, Sahil Ghosh. Third place, Ahana Shah. Exploring Technology, second place, Ahan Gupta. Fourth place, Kanishka Jagtap. FBLA Concepts, first place, Aishwarya Senthil. Second place, Sanjana Pendugonda. Third place, Arun Bhumala. Fourth place, Suvali Singh. Now for FBLA Mission and Pledge. Second place, Anish Potuganti. Third place, Sahib Singh. Fourth place, Sudeep Parvathin. Financial Literacy, fourth place, Pranav Kumar. Interpersonal Communication, first place, Gautam Rajesh. Second place, Rayan Hussain. Third place, Rahi Lakpati. Now for Leadership, first place, Anya Yadav. Second place, Panchul Kadam. Fourth place, Darshini Bandapali. Learning Strategies, first place, Manit Khanna. Second place, Adya Dinu. Fourth place, Arav Singh. I repeat, Arnav Singh. Marketing Mix Challenge, first place, Aditya Gala. Gautam Rajesh. Arjun Sudhakar. Third place, Shri Vatsa Vadlamani. Now for multimedia and website development. Second place, Pranav Venkataraman. Second place, Kashvi Sheth. Running an effective meeting. First place, Jashun Rajesh Kanan. Second place, Aditya Gala. Third place, Ashwin Agarwal. For video games, first place, Rayan Hussain. Arit Malhotra. Rishabh Jain. For challenge, second place, Sahil Bupula. For third place, Rohan Jagannathan. Congratulations to all the FBLA participants and to the advisors. Big round of applause.
And next week, our FBLA is headed to Orlando, Florida. New Jersey National History Day under the advisement of Miss Hurwitz and Miss Rhodes. First place state competition website, Arav Kumar. Exhibit of Apollo 11, Pranav Venkataraman. Third place state competition documentary, Trisha Holakari, Darshini Pandapali, Havisha Gangula. Exhibit on Korematsu versus United States, Naranjana Prakash, Nivan Mantri, Swati Dhanasakar, and Varsha Rajesh. Regional state qualifiers, paper on the Battle of Stalingrad, Ishan Menon. Paper on the Renaissance architecture, Ashwath Sharath Kumar. Website on Thomas Nast political cartoons, Harini Murali. Website, Saish Kaul. Website, Arav Kumar. Exhibit on the first interstate highway system, Ameya Kumar. Exhibit on Apollo 2, Pranav Venkataraman. Exhibit on Korematsu versus United States, Naranjana Prakash, Nivan Mantri, Swati Danshkakar, Varsha Rajesh. Exhibit on the impact of the birth control pill, Akshana Sharma, Ashani Chakravorty. Documentary on the impact of the Boeing 747, Ananja Sharma, Rishabh Girish. Documentary on the Wansi Conference, Darshini Bandapali, Havisha Gangula, Trisha Hokari. Documentary on WW2 Women Air Force Pilots, Nandana Bhattacharjee. And last but not least, our Model UN under the advisement of Miss Aramini. Outstanding Delegate, JPS MUNC, Rachel Robinson. Outstanding Delegate, Beginner Best Delegate Conference, Vinjay Rajan, Rebecca Robinson, Harini Murali, Srivatsa Vadlamani, Ananja Sharma, Akshaya Santosh Kumar, Devanshi Pahuja. Outstanding Delegate, Advanced Best Delegate Conference, Tanisha Sahai, Alshani Chakravorty. Outstanding Delegate, Beginner Best Delegate Conference, Barjaj Chittareddy. Congratulations to all of our recognized students tonight for the district. Congratulations to Woodrow Wilson students. And now it is my honor to introduce Mr. Brian McGrath, principal of Herbert Hoover Middle School.
Thank you, and I would like to thank Dr. Aldarelli, Board President Patel, and the entire Board of Education. I would like to begin by honoring Sophia Wu, who under the tutelage of Joseph Cunningham made the CJMEA All-Region Band.
Mr. McGrath, hold on 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just ask 1 minute, we're going to take a brief intermission right after the next middle school piece. If we could just please sit down right now. Folks in the back, if you wouldn't mind shutting those doors. Let's give these other middle school students this last school the same attention that we did the other three. It'd be greatly appreciated. We'll take a quick break right after this. Mr. McGrath, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Aldarelli. Up next, we'll be honoring those students who participated in the Spring FCCLA competition under the tutelage of Joanna DeFrancesco. First place gold, Toys That Teach, Tasha Kadakia and Sonia Sheath. International Food, Kavya Kandori and Shreya Mehta. Reinventing Spaces, Dia Kandani, Tia Mehta, and Rayan Syed. Up next, first place silver, International Food, Avery Ghosh, Shruti Thermal. Congratulations. Program cover design, Sia Venkata Dishika Sanduyu. Taking home bronze in Hospitality 101, Oriello Ayani. Congratulations. Up next, Food Truck Feud, Anvita Parisa and Ava Manchikani. We'd also like to recognize, under the tutelage of Niraj Srivastava, Nivan Srivastava, who took home the highest score in the Math Count Regional Competition school round. Congratulations. I'll now turn it over to Mr. Ross from Edison High School.
Great. Thank you very much there, Mr. McGrath. We're just going to take a brief moment right now, a quick little intermission. And as Mr. White had said, Apple time, we're going to come back at 8:20.
That's what hurts. Yeah, me too.
All right, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr. Ross.
Good evening, Mr. Ross.
Thank you, sir. I was a little confused going first. I thought the home team got last licks. I thought I'd go last, but maybe this is one of those situations where, like, when the Jets play in Giant Stadium and you're not sure because they don't have their own, but I don't know. I was just not sure. But we'll get to J.P. Stevens. Now, for my Edison Eagles that we're going to shout out tonight, so many great things. So great to see all of the young people getting their awards for all the works for the families, all the works for their advisors, their principals. It was great seeing the presentations on all of the new building that's going on. And Board of Ed, I've got the Edison hard hats and the silver shovels, so when you guys are ready to break ground in the back, just come see me. I've got everything ready, because we need it down here too.
We'll be there.
All right, very good. Okay, now, what I want to talk about today is going through the Edison High. Now, my Edison High people, as we sit and we get our awards, please stand up. Like I said, it was senior day today. A lot of people are out doing a lot of different things, getting ready for our graduation at the RAC. But my Edison people, if I shout you out, please stay for the J.P. Stevens so that we can give our sister school that same attention and love that they give us. So first off, starting off with our FCCLA under our advisor, Miss Megan Reeves. First place goal, let's go for Ronil Shah, Vedika Pudahai, Pranav Devaraju, Rashita Jambula, Yashwini Rapaka, Gauri Chandrasan, Faiza Ahmed, Pranav Narayan, Kosha Patel, Ragapuli, and second place goal, our state officer, Stuti Shah. Stuti. In basketball, under the leadership of our winningest coach in history, Charlie Moore, let's give it up for first team all-white division, Rich Harvey. Everybody saw the Celtics won 18 championships, on and off, but our most awarded team is our cheerleading team, back-to-back state champions. Let's give it up for GMC White Division, Small Varsity NJ State Champions. Avery Abrams, Elise Bullock, Tiara Campbell, Layla Dixon, Kylie Ewing, Kiki Green, Micaiah Rooks, Gina Ruffino, Olivia Short, and Lindsay Yasko. That's for Coach Gregoire and Coach Yoakum. Thank you so much. In the all-white division under Coach Jason Wernlin of boys volleyball, Ajit Pranav Sivakumar, Mohammed Hadi, Brady Boslet, Gavin Garcia. And they were white division co-champions, Kirtan Amin, Ronit Arora, Brady Boslet, Garcia, Hadi, Mahdi Jamal Muhammad, Pranav Janaki, Ashok, Jacob Lee, Pranit Mathur, Ajit Pranav, Sivakumar, Kanishka Rajgamanu, Vedika Pudahai, Abraham Vamula, Adrian Zapala. Under Coach Yoakum, she also does the ladies lacrosse, all-white division, all-conference, going to play in college. Elizabeth Lizzie Mellinger, the all-time leader with 186 goals. Also all-white division, Layla Robinson, Jocelyn Gross, and our goalie, Maha Khan. Giving it up for the rest of the team that was a co-champion in the white division. Haley Amon, Chelsea Avila, Laura Clunas, Mary Elizabeth Conway, Adrian De Maria, Shagun Goodhart, April Godoy, Catherine Kovalchuk, Tasia Lanier, Jada Leon, Tulsi Patel, Layla Robinson, Rachel Rodriguez, Varnika Sai, Serengeti, Ashley Smith, and Allison Z. Under the leadership of Tracy Smith, our boys bowling all-white division were John Ray and James Stavernick. All-white division girls bowling, let's go for Pooja Katara and Peyton Stone. From the legendary Avalon Wrestling family, and we have all-white division Fernando Avalon and our own Jeremy Negron. First team, all-white division, GMC All-County Girls Basketball. Chelsea Go with the second most points in Edison history, over 1,000.
Right.
Now, Coach Smith is the boys' tennis coach, and the boys' tennis team for the past 2 years has been undefeated in the white division. Let's give it up for Vinaya Thalango, Ashmit Gandhi, Chetan Kalam. Oh, hold your applause till we're done. Jack McMahon, Umair Mansuri, Advik Mishra, Ari Patel, Prisha Patel, Sarvesh Prem Kumar, Ishan Shetty, Pranav Srinivasan, Bijan Yurikov, Youngie Woo. All white division were Sarvesh Prem Kumar, Pranav Srinivasan, Bijan Yurikov, Vinaya Thelango. All right, Ishan Shetty, Bill Woo, and Arya Patel. And under Coach Yasko, for the first team, all-white division boys lacrosse, Chris Eagle, Dean Lee, and Alexis Gonzalez. Also lacrosse all-conference was Colin Predaddy. Now the track team was also white division back-to-back champions, so we got a lot of different names. Let's hold our applause to the end. We've got for the ladies, Noreen Amponsa, Jada Bond, Zamina Capo, Ama Boateng, Kiana Rose, Isla Bristow Cabrera, Gracie White, Kaden Aravena. And for the boys' white division, we have Ricky Harvey, Torian Rattray, Alex Lang, Fabricio Suto, Joe Pinero, Remy Bethea, Mustafa Abdalal. For the, under Coach Muldowney, for the girls softball, all blue division, Ava Austin and Kaylin Klein. In girls golf, under Coach Frank Giuliano, all red division was Madison Zaccaro. Edison baseball, we had two all-division, all-county players, Jackson Appleman and Rob Roma Jr. And all division was Anthony Calantoni. NJMEA All-State Band, Hannah Chung, Dev Delwadi, Akshay Khatri, and Jonathan Lee. 2024 USA Bio-Olympiad semifinalist was Druhi Patel. And before I do the last word, just a big shout out to our security staff that always keeps us safe through all of these games and extracurricular activities. We appreciate all you do. And the last awards of the night, our National Merit Scholarship winners are Augustia Caligarla and Atharva Inmandar. And now it is my honor to bring up two of the esteemed vice principals from John P. Stevens High School, Mr. Rob Robinson and Faye Wachowski. Thank you, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Alderley, Board of Education, for this opportunity to recognize some great J.P. Stevens Hawks this evening. Sorry we have to go last, but after all, we did say the best for last. We have so many awards, we had to bring two administrators tonight. But Mr. Ross is a tough act to follow, but I do want to thank him and Mrs. Blevins. They've opened up their schools to J.P. Stevens this year. They've opened the auditoriums, cafeteria, and allowed us to continue to offer co-curricular programs. We are excited about getting an auditorium next year, so I do appreciate that. They've been very accommodating to us. So without further ado, I'm going to present to us the J.P. Stevens Athletic Awards. Let's hear it for the Hawks. There it is. There it is. right, thank you very much. So, moving forward, we have the All GMC Ice Hockey. We have Aletsky Sergev. We have All Red Division Boys Basketball. We have Anthony Hicks. We have Red Division Sportsmanship Award, Boys Basketball. We have Samik Sethi. We have Leo Bunyan. We have Ryan Lowe, Varun Pangetti, Nasir Kimbrough, Anthony Hicks, Derek Anad Lois, Michael Gonzalez, Deb Desai, Shamar Birch, Kareem Osmir, Logan Patel, Gotham Swaminathan, and that is the Red Division Sportsmanship, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We have the White Division Championship for girls basketball under the tutelage of Tim Weber. We have Catherine Budgutsky. We have Chloe Chan, Emma Clemens, Cassidy Jeswaldo, Isabel Malensico, Aliyah Manley, Mansi Maharaj, Trisha Nair, Janiyah Singleton, Jaislyn Victor, Amber White, and Tanvi Yakali. That's right. And moving on down, we have All GMC Girls Basketball. Once again, Catherine Bogutsky. Up in the back. And then we have the All White Division Girls Basketball, and we have Trisha Nair, everybody. Okay, very good. Moving forward yet again, we have Girls GMC All Conference for Girls Swimming. We have Angela Zhao and Anish Oha. And for Boys GMC All Conference Boys Swimming, we have Sean Stanek. All Red Division Girls Swimming, we have Angela Zhao, Anisha Oha, Shaharsha Bocha, Sanskriti Nayak, everybody. All right, very good. And for the boys, the All Red Division with boys swimming, we have once again Sean Stanek, Jaden Zhang, Arnav Lange, and Anthony Chu. Moving it again, we have the All White Division boys bowling under Mr. John Canova. We have Charlie Hyman Cruz. And the All White Division for girls bowling, once again under Mr. Canova, we have Shreyananda. All GMC, All Red Division Girls Winter Track under Mr. Joe Revito. We have Grace Best. The All GMC Red Division Boys Winter Track, we have Hiven Buford. All Red Division Boys Winter Track, we have Kaushik Anamarju. We have Abhiram Talapragada. We have the Red Division Sportsmanship Award, Boys Winter Track. Hold your applause. We have Neil Bajwa, Hiven Beaufort, Anshul Panchal, Abhiram Talapragada, Neil Boshel, Vanch Singh, Sapno Roy, Adarsh Skakavarthi, Kaushik Anamaju. We got Cheyenne Nandaraj, Adit Trivedi, and Andrew Mateo. Man. And we've got the Red Division Sportsmanship Girls Winter Track. We got Brianna Frenderson, Jayla Agee, Nanya Patti, Peruvi Kathakar, Avery Spendveta, Serena Young, Tanvi Anamarju, Namrata Anand, Shreya Takel, Lauren Chen, Shorya Nahar, Sophie Barrow, Grace Best, Zeal Shaw, Ariana Betro, and Naomi George. For All Blue Division Wrestling, we have Adolfo Malabanan, under Anthony Macchia, one of my former students. Yeah, very good. And we have for Spring 2024 Red Division, the Sportsmanship Award in Boys Golf. We have Anat Gupta, Abhishek Gavaskaran, Akash Jain, Vayan Sawat, Arun Lakhil, Tanush Patil, Joel Ornan, Abhishek Aman, Yashvir Hinagari, and Akash Patel. And in the All Division, All GMC Boys Golf, Tanush Patil. All Red Division Boys Volleyball under Tim Weber yet again, we have Soham Patel. All GMC Girls Lacrosse, we have once again Cassidy Jeswaldo. We have the All Red Division Girls Softball under Carolyn Ratty. We got Faith from Morrow. Red Division Sportsmanship Award for Girls Softball. We got Faith Fermaro. We got Vanessa Yim. We got Emma Clemens, Olivia Risigliano, Daniel Bosselet, Yana Chadari, Myra Rajet, Anna Royce, Bella Malencio, Diva Fakani, Sophia Malencio, Amish Gupta, Caitlin Dimata, Gianna Moscara, and Gia Shandel. And for all white division boys lacrosse under Coach Adam Sklar, we have Kevin Savath. All red division girls golf under Mike Sider, we have Pooja Jade. All GMC girls golf, Pooja Jade and Ishani Vakil. And the white division sportsmanship award for boys baseball under Tyler Jacko. Hold your applause. We have John Papiani, Peter Dudesh, Michael Gonzalez, Caston Moore, Chris Chudari, Armand Bellamora, Jackson Fong, Joan Dickerson, Mukan Rayo, Deb Desai, Jaden Kazim, Lassen Mo, Nolan Overmeyer, Soham Parpajetti, and Arush Patel. And the all-white division for boys baseball, once again, John Papiani. All-white division girls lacrosse, once again, Cassidy Gesualdo and Kristen Whitney. In the GMC, all-red division, all GMC, second singles for boys tennis is Agashta Dewan. GMC champions, all-red division, all GMC, first doubles boys tennis. We got Shravan Vinkat and Brandon Cheng. All red division first singles boys tennis. We got Sapan Chandra. At this point, that concludes the athletic presentation. It is my distinct pleasure to hand this over to our very own assistant principal, Mrs. Faye Wachowski. Ladies and gentlemen, Faye Wachowski.
Thank you so much. I'll be taking over and starting with band. Our directors are Mr. John Zazali, Raymond Henriksen, Pamela Ferrali. For the CJMEA Region Band, we have Nicholas Alcade, Benjamin Alter, Gautam Balajakanan, Brandon Chang, Hong Chang, Rishith Dugampudi, Rishi Gurnani, Abhishek Gurabhaskaran, Jonathan Jang, Christopher Wan, Sejin Kim, Adwait Kulkarni, Sahil Kulkarni, Sumit Kulkarni, Arnav Lange, Andrew Lee, Luna Liao, Samantha Luo, Samarsima Munagala, Justin Nee, Siddharth Parakala, Rihanna Shirali, CB Srinivasan, Mahir Tadaparti, Simran Tangri, Shreyas Thirumali, Siddharth Vadia, Taran Vakata, Andy Shu, Mia Zhang. For the NJEMEA All-State Band, Brandon Chang, Hong Chang, Rishi Gurnani, Abhishek Gurabhaskaran, Christopher Wan, Sejin Kim, Sahil Kulkarni, Sumit Kulkarni, Andrew Lee, Samantha Luo, Samarsima Mungala, Justin Nee, Siddharth Parakala, Rihanna Shirai, Siddharth Vadia, Taran Vakata, Andy Shu, Mia Zhang. J.P. Stevens Wind Ensemble also represented Central Jersey at the New Jersey State Band Gala this April at TCNJ. Moving on to orchestra. Directors, Dr. Brian Verity and Mr. Justin Lee. The All-State Orchestra Certificate goes to Howard Shu. First place, Montclair State University String Festival. Olive Wang, Andrew Akimoto, Vidya Rajagopal, Paige Wang. Moving on to choir under directors Matthew Lee and Regina McElroy, the NJMEA All-State Mixed Choir, Advika Anand, Smruti Arun, Param Bhatt, Sanvi Chukakar, Sarah Deo, Kshitij Jain, Sarah Jasmine Kanchi, Nakul Malu, Dhruv Merchandani, Tanish Mittal, Sanvi Shah, Vidika Srinivasan, Kritika Vedula. NJMEA All-State Treble Choir, Subishka Bhaskaran, Srinitya Bhatrapulu, Apurva Chaudhary, Marcy Dangerville, Riva Dave, Abhishri Karthik Iyengar, Mehroop Kaur. Moving on to FCCLA advisors Nicole DiMattia, Liana Olenchek, Stacy Dorzansky. For our first place Golden Scholarship Certificate for cake decorating, Emma Desa. Also first place gold winners, Lakshanasre Vyasara Manujam, Jenna Trotman, Amisha Gupta, Charlisa Asif, Hitha Srinivas, Zara Merchant, Daya Karakat, Amirtha Varshini Subaraman, Malev Shah, Ritam Chaudhary, Anika Sandeep, Ashna Agrawal, Mehak Patel, Yashvi Patel, Sia Patel, Rushi Rao, Sarah Bandari, Shriya Umaneni, Estelle Tang, Om Singhal, Sridhar Garg, Ronak Sadarangani, Anjali Sina, Kaya Patel, Leah Pasupuleti. This year's New Jersey FCCLA state officers, Malav Shah, Hitha Srinivas, Mihak Patel, Sridhar Garg. Under advisor, Wendy Hurwitz, National History Day state qualifiers and regional winners, Shanjana Panjayar, Falak Sazir, Nitya Bola, Panaja Kosaraju, Isabella Rios, Joshua Littman, Aditya Shinoy Karkala, Ambika Kumar, Arya Matre, Tanish Surti, Advaith Siddesh Kandwasamy, Ananya Kandaswamy, Pragna Kura, Srijani Sina, Mansha Sayal, Abiram Talapragada, Anaketh Buka, Sai Varuganti, Samarsima Munagala, Shardul Krishna Kumar, Deepesh Chinta, Michael Liang, Satvik Paul, Sarthak Kumar, Rayan Bari, Rubesh Prabharaj, Yuven Amala, Harish Angadala, Ryan Parakal, Sanvi Dev, Frida Arasavili, Charlize Asif. Our national qualifiers and state winners, Sanvi Dev, Frida Arsavili, Charlize Asif, Mansha Sayal. Under advisor, Mr. Benny Parakadon, Odyssey of the Mind. Regional first place for problem 3, Vivan Sawant, Omag Basani, Varun Iyer, Ansh Bhatia, Samit Gadekar, Akash Jain, Dhruba Bhattacharjee. For problem 4, regional first place and recently awarded 3rd place at World Finals, Sohang Sethi, Enosh Tella, Divya Thota, Marvin Patel, Vasishta Vumiti, Shriya Puturu, Arshia Garg. State finalists for invitation to the Odyssey of the Mind World Finals, Abir Modak, Ashvik Garg, Kushi Habar, Shashvanth Devaraju, Shriya Gupta, Ved Pant, Diraj Patel, Sohang Sethi, Enosh Tella, Divya Thota, Marvin Patel, Vasishta Vumiti, Shriya Poturu, Arshia Garg, Pranav Thota, Madhav Karuba, Aditya Dwasari, Akram Razak, Vikrant Yadav, Vibhat Puchalapali, Abhinav Pentiala, Vaishnavi Palasamudram, Shreyananda, Sanya Kajkar, Raga Danthareddy, Zariel Milstein, Ting Ting He, Tavleen Singh. Our final 3 certificates tonight. Our National Merit Scholarship goes to Arnav Sadish. Governor's School finalist, School of Engineering and Technology, Daniel Park. Finally, our Governor's School Award, Hong Cheng. That concludes our acknowledgments this evening. Congratulations to all our students recognized. Have a great night.
Great job. Great job.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our Student Recognition Night program. Thank you again. Let's give one more round of applause for our students who
All
received
right.
recognition tonight. And at this time, I would like to turn the meeting back over to our Board of Education President, Mr. Biral Patel. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. There are a few more recognitions which could not be here today. As many of you may know, probably Edison students broke the Guinness World Record for the longest line of batteries. From Woodbrook Elementary School, Dhruv Kaushik, Arjun Pandya, Shravani Dara, Neil Patel, Akshita Bodu, Kirthana Arya. From Woodrow Wilson, Sadhna Dara, Rayansh Sapa, Sanvi Kothapalli, Rayansh Bodu, Hari Nishri Challagundla. From John Adam Middle School, Anjali Natakala, Anish Bogaraju, Manav Manyar, Gagana Shri Bachu. And from JP Stevens, Yash Bamidi Pati, Keisha Manyar, Jashmita Sapa, and Shivam Oronkar. Congratulations to all those as well.
Congratulations.
We'll take a 5-minute break here for everyone to settle down, and then we'll start our regular board meeting. At this point, we'll start with our regular board meeting. First, we will have our student council representatives from Edison High School, Mrs. Charvi Padmanabhini.
Good evening, board members and public. As we draw near the end of the school year, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for the incredible opportunity the board has provided me with as a student representative. Serving as a student council president and attending these meetings has been an enriching experience that I will cherish forever. As the school year wraps up, our school is buzzing with a mix of excitement and nostalgia. Just yesterday, we celebrated with our senior barbecue. Today, we had our senior send-off and a clap-out at the elementary schools. It was incredibly nostalgic to walk those halls again and feel the enthusiastic support of the younger students, a reminder of how far we've come. On Friday is our graduation at 1 p.m. The Student Council and I are thrilled to see our peers step into the next chapter of their lives. Being part of these meetings and contributing to discussions that shape our school's policies and programs has been a profound learning experience for my board and I. Thank you for valuing the voices of students and for allowing us to further represent our peers. This role taught us the importance of leadership, collaboration, and advocacy. I'm confident that these lessons will serve us well in the future, and we're excited to see how the new Student Council board will continue to build on our work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before you leave, we would like to give you your certificate collect from Dr. Alderelli. Next is JP Stevens, Mr. Bill Tang.
Yes, thank you. So good evening, everyone. My name is Bill Tang, and I am one of the co-presidents of the Student Council at John P. Stevens High School. And I also want to add that being in Student Council and just sitting here is such an amazing opportunity. The time here is really rewarding, and I look very forward to this time next year. Since the last Board of Education meeting, our school, student body, and staff members are working up to wrap up this school year. So first, our seniors were able to have a lasting high school memory by attending prom, hosted by our senior class council, and they have also attended the senior award night and are preparing for their long-awaited graduation this Friday. Next, clubs and extracurricular activities have also had their end-of-the-year events, performances, meetings, and banquets, including our school orchestra, band, choir, guitar, dance team, spring sports, as well as a hackathon in the form of Hack JPS 2 Saturdays ago, as well as the school's DEI team in hosting the Museum of Stories, which is an event whereby the school recognizes and celebrates the diversity of the students here at JP. And finally, Student Council also hosted our last school event for the school year, Battle of the Classes, with a Spirit Week leading up to the event held last Friday, which is basically our student body dressing up in different outfits to show school support. And they wore their class colors to show support for their class in the Battle of the Classes. The event itself was a great success. Everyone was really happy. It was very energetic, with the senior class taking the trophy and the junior class coming in close second. And lastly, our school finished up with all of their necessary logistics, including the end-of-the-year assessments like NJ, SLA, locker cleanouts, MacBook collection, and our teachers administering the last few assignments before allowing the students to relax and just go about with summer vacation. Overall, John P. Stevens High School is doing all that we can to finish the year off strong. And thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Good, thank you so much, both of you. Next is public comments on resolutions only. Public comments on resolutions only. Saying none, motion to end public comments on resolutions.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right. Next is motion to approve personnel report.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Schneider. Okay. Roll call, Mr. Toth.
Yes. Mr. Lugo.
Yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Vishal Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Mr. Schneider.
Yes.
Ms. White.
Yes.
Ms. Peng.
Yes.
Vice President Romano.
Yes.
President Patel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Right. Before we move on, Bill Tang, your certificate. Please collect from Dr. Alderelli. Judy, if you can help him out, if there are any EHS, you can take that away from him. Dr. Alderelli?
Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge a assistant principal that was just approved over at John Marshall, Miss Kathleen Glitchkowski, who is currently in the audience right now. Congratulations. You're going to make an excellent addition to the administrative team. Thank you.
Congratulations. Right, next is motion to approve administration, curriculum, and instruction pupil services reports.
Motion.
Mr. Schneider, Mr. Vishal Patel.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Todd.
Yes. Mr. Lugo?
Yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Vishal Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Ms. White?
Yes.
Ms. Peng?
Yes.
Vice President Romano?
Yes.
President Patel?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next is motion to approve finance reports. To a motion,
Motion.
Mr. Romano,
Second.
Mr. Schneider. Roll call, Mr. Todd.
Mr. Lugo?
That'd be a yes, but I do have a couple of exceptions. There will be no's. Under contracts and awards, no to number 3 and number 9, and under D, procurement, number 6.
No to number 3 and 9. Procurement 6. Noted. Yes on the rest, correct? Yes.
That's correct, yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Vishal Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera?
On C, I am also a no on 3, 8, and 9.
C, 3, 8. Noted. Yes on the rest, correct?
That is correct.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes on all, but on C, I'm a no on 8 and 9.
Yes on the rest. Noted. Ms. White?
Yes on all except for number 8 and number 9.
Ms. Peng?
Yes.
Vice President Romano?
Yes.
President Patel?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Right. Thank you. Next is committee reports. First is athletic committee, Mr. Vishal Patel.
I think Dr. Raleigh is gonna read it for me. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. Yeah. So we had a athletic committee meeting that was conducted on June 3rd at 4:30 p.m. In attendance were the chair of that committee, Mr. Vishal Patel, Ms. White, Mr. Rivera, I believe Ms. Pang by telephone on that one as well, right? Dr. Huss, myself, and both athletic directors at that time, Mr. Sandell and Mr. Ristov. The committee meeting reports are there for your review, but I'm going to kind of hit the highlights of these pieces currently right now. The meeting began with spring updates and highlights of our spring season, all the accolades for both high schools, the J.P. Stevens in relationship to the Sportsmanship Award, some of the student athletes that received accolades, girls lacrosse. Overall, we are extremely happy with not only the success of a few of those select programs, but all of our student athletes and coaches for the work that they did throughout the spring to make sure our students have a wonderful athletic experience here. Mr. Sandell finished off for the second year in a row, 5 out of 10 of the spring sports. We're official winners in the white division currently right now. Highlights of those were the baseball team, tennis, track and field, as well as lacrosse, concluding with 12 track athletes advancing to the NJSIA group championships that were held at Franklin High School. Other highlights from that meeting, too, we had an update in relationship to middle school sports and the scheduling of those sports in relationship to the upcoming fall season specifically, and the opportunity to take a little bit more ownership of the schedule to ensure further participation as well as efficiency in relationship to conducting games on times, maximizing student participation. We are highlighting our tennis court renovation as well, too, that's happening over at Edison High School. Courts are ready to be scheduled for August. There was an update in relationship to physical examinations. The Department of Education changed its required medical forms, as well as the electronic maintenance of those forms. Middle school track, the committee also talked about hosting an interscholastic track meet for middle schools. I had the opportunity to attend one at the end of the year, and it was really, really successful. Kudos to all the coaches as well as the athletic directors that put that together. It was a really wonderful event, and I think it's something that we can put together moving forward for a variety of those sports. You really got a sense of sportsmanship, team spirit. A lot of parents came out that day too. Really was a wonderful day, beautiful day as a matter of fact. And to cap it off, we talked about coaching, ways to ensure coaching protocols are established in a uniformed manner, not only across schools, but something that would be facilitated through the athletic director's office, developing rubrics, developing practice plans to ensure that practices are structured in a manner that's consistent amongst all of our schools. The next meeting is going to be planned in the upcoming months, I believe, and future information will be provided. And that is the conclusion of that report. Mr. Patel.
Right, thank you. Next is Mrs. White, Township Liaison Report.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. The Township BOE Liaison Committee met on Tuesday, May the 21st, 2024 at the Education Center, beginning at 11 a.m. and ending at 12:10. In attendance in person were Mayor's Chief of Staff, Bob Deal, Community Constituent Relations Coordinator, Pat Coyle, Superintendent, Dr. Aldarelli, Assistant Superintendent of Operations, Dr. Huss, Assistant Superintendent of Special Services, Dr. Tui, Director of Security, Patrick Hussain, Public Relations, Heather Daniel, BOE members Douglas Schneider, Angela Patel, and Virginia White. Via Zoom, we had Assemblyman Sterling Stanley, Councilman John Pointer, A.J. Patel, Deputy Police Chief Bob Dudash, Sergeant Lisa Semino, and BOE member Brian Rivera. Assemblyman Stanley shared information regarding state funding, current legislative updates and initiatives. He discussed many bills, including anti-bullying, mental health, school funding, and extending the service life of school buses. Mr. Schneider inquired about the districts that gained funding and whether they would lose that money in the 2025-26 allocation. The Assemblyman discussed the importance of sustenance or increase. Dr. Tui discussed improving the mechanism to support districts for out-of-district costs. Chief of Staff Bob Deal provided updates. He began with condolences for the loss of Andy DiNicola and Jim O'Downey and for their service and dedication to the district. He announced the following events. May 25th, the Memorial Day Parade. May 27th, the street sign dedication in the council chambers. May 30th, the ribbon cutting at the Farmers Market in Swales Park. On June 8th, the Job Corps would be hosting Dr. Opal Lee, the Nobel Peace Prize nominee. June 21st, the Splash Park is supposed to be completed by that date. And June 26th, the Oak Tree Pond sign designation for the Battle of Short Hills. We're now on the historic register, which is really great. Cricket pitches at Thomas Jefferson, Martin Luther King, and JMI are to be repaired and maintained. All the pitches are supposed to be addressed. Stelton School, the town is working on improvements. Examples would be the roofs, the windows. This is not an easy project, as we all know, and it's been ongoing a really long time. Chief Dudash and Sergeant Semino updated the group on the pedestrian-activated stop signs. I expressed thanks for the 2 sets of signs. They were located at Boulevard of Eagles and Old Post and Woodrow Wilson and Plainfield Road. An additional order will be delivered early to mid-June and will be installed shortly afterward. The plan is to place them near school locations. We also asked about the John Adams traffic study, and Bob discussed the intent to make it more efficient, and parking seems to be improving there. And the school has been very proactive, which is a good thing. Pat Coyle announced, and also that the junior police academies are now in the process of enrolling. Pat Coyle announced that Mayor Joshi is having his boot camp again this year in August for sophomores and juniors. So we have to keep that in mind. I asked Pat about sidewalks near schools, specifically near Old Post Road and Route 1 in front of Ray Catina's place. Okay, and he was going to look into that for us. Okay, the next liaison meeting is scheduled for July the 16th. Respectfully submitted, Virginia White. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next is Communications Community Relations meeting. It was held on 11 June before our board meeting last week. It was held at Education Center. Attendees were myself, Mr. Logo, Mrs. Anjana Patel, and Mrs. White and Heather Daniel. The meeting focused on key topics related to development of an end-of-the-year family feedback for the Thought Exchange 23-24 school year and the importance of incorporating staff feedback into overall communication strategy. The committee reviewed the draft. Key considerations for the survey included use of Likert scale to obtain structured feedback. The meeting concluded with following decisions and actions to be taken by Ms. Heather Daniel: edit and finalize the feedback and provide it to the committee for review, share with bargaining unit leadership to include their perspectives, and create and distribute a staff survey to gather their input. The meeting was adjourned with plans to reconvene at a future date as determined. The survey feedback email was sent out today, and Ms. Heather Daniel just gave me an update. So far, in just few hours, over 1,000 families have filled the feedback, which is incredible. So whenever that closes, Dr. Alderali and your team will be able to take a look at it, and our communication committee will reconvene and look at the results of what parents are filled out. Right, thank you so much. That concludes all of our committee reports. Next, we will move on. Before we move on to the board member comments, I talked about it in the initial report about need for air conditions. As I stated earlier, we started with a potential plan in year 2022, and something that we can ask our architect, DMR architect. At that time, there was some costing and analysis done. So what architects can do is look over it again. So I would like to give it to Dr. Alderali. What are the plans around it?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Patel. Yeah, so the initial phase would be to, number one, as you stated earlier, is to make sure that we prioritize and emphasize that information as part of our long-range facilities plan. The topic has also come up in relationship to our strategic plan, particularly in infrastructure as well as wellness. So, once the board has an opportunity to look at those and digest that information, they will approve that. And once we do approve that, it codifies that as a mission and a goal that we move forward. And then it is this body's, as well as the gentleman to my right, to make sure that we have a funding mechanism to ensure that the board goals, which would be air conditioning if that is the case, depending upon the scope, are fully funded in a manner that is not only in line with our budgetary needs, but also cost prohibitive to the taxpayer as well too. So that would be it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Board member comments?
I have a few.
Yes, Mr. Rivera.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'm really surprised Mr. Mara's not here, because I really wanted to acknowledge him. So I just wanted to let Mr. Mara know that I want to wish him well, first of all, and I want to state that his time attending our board meetings were not wasted. His concerns in regards to policy 5756 did not go on deaf ears. Several board members, including Chris, Doug, and Vishal, and myself, have been engaged in conversations regarding that topic for a while now. With that said, I understand the concerns parents have with the policy, so I've asked the superintendent to place policy 5756 on the agenda for our next policy meeting. We also invited our attorneys to the meeting for also their guidance. To us, this is about encouraging parental choice, maintaining standard for parental notification, and at the same time ensuring the safety for all of our students. I'm hoping we get good guidance to keep our kids safe and better assist our students, parents, and again, our diverse community. So I did want to acknowledge Mr. Mara, because he put a lot of time and effort with his statements attending these board meetings. So I just want to let him know that he was heard. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the food. We've been getting various emails regarding the menus. I'm sure, like the rest of the board members, my mailbox has been getting swamped with these concerns. So I know there's 3 members currently that are on the food committee. I'm asking Beryl if I could be the fourth member, because I would like to be a part of this and part of these discussions. Is that okay if I could be the fourth member?
I will think about it.
Okay. I'm volunteering for it, so I hope you.
Well, as of last week, I told Dr. Alderelli that I will be the fourth member, and that's in the email to Dr. Alderelli, right? I sent you an email. So I will still think about it.
All right. Well, I know you're busy, so if you want, I'll be happy to
Sure.
attend.
No, thank you for the offer to volunteer.
Okay. The other things I want to do is I want to congratulate all the students that received awards tonight. Special thanks to all the teachers and the coaches and the parents for their support. I do want to make a recommendation to Dr. Ellie. Arav Kumar, if that kid ever wants a job, I say you pay attention to him because his name was listed multiple times. So keep that name in mind. I also want to wish all the graduates success in the future in their endeavors. I'm looking forward for the graduation on Friday. And finally, I want to thank all of our staff at Edison Public Schools for their hard work. I specifically want to thank a special thanks to the staff at Washington School. I was able to attend my child's 5th grade graduation today. I actually went to work, went to the graduation, went to work, and then came here. So, life of the board member. But I really wanted to thank them because my child had a wonderful experience at Washington School. He received a great education. He was supported well, but most part he was loved. So, thank you, and thank you to Washington School.
Thank you. Next for board member comments.
Can I go?
Mr. Vishal Patel.
So I think I want to piggyback on Brian's comment on the food committee. So I want to give an opportunity to Dr. Alderelli and let us know your plans on how you're going to handle those emails. And
If just a quick comment, Board President. Yeah, so we received several emails over the course of the last couple of weeks in relationship to menu item choices, and some passionate ones, some really well thought out pieces. So it's a really hectic time of year currently right now. At the end of the year, we're actually, kind of concluding lunch selection and things along those lines. But I think having a meeting over the summer to not only get input from the parents that expressed an interest in this, but one of the other suggestions we would have is to include students, right? They're the ones that are eating the food, they get on the lines. We can bring our food vendor in to do a cost analysis to see if we've offered these items in the past, how well they've sold, and what other menu options we can have, maybe a taste testing or something along those lines. But I think pushing the meeting until maybe the last week of July and August will give us time to really have a more cohesive approach and make an informed decision coming September time. So look forward to that.
thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
I also wanna share a wonderful news about the cricket for anybody who's following. Right, there's a T20 World Cup cricket tournament happening right in our backyard in New York, where 20 different countries are participating. And what's exciting about it is USA cricket team is playing its first T20 World Cup ever this time. Even more exciting, they created a history by beating the team that has been playing World Cup for many, many, many years. And it was an easy match. The match ended with tie. It means both teams had exactly same number of runs at the end of the 20 overs, and USA beat that team in a tiebreaker over. So USA cricket team is creating history. I mean, it shows that with dedication and hard work, success is to follow, even with the new teams. And just like our JP Stevens team, we had a brand new JP Stevens team who played a cricket tournament in Middlesex County, and they won the tournament. So let's celebrate the success of these students. I want to thank our athletic directors, our administration, and students for their passion and dedication. And with their passion and dedication, maybe we can have our next cricket star right in our backyard in our Edison town. So, thank you.
I agree.
So thank you so much about that comment. And as we saw, United States team is now won an international cricket match. So hopefully they win a couple of more in the round. So
correct. I think I forgot to mention they moved on to the next stage of the tournament, which is called Super 8. So out of 28 teams moved ahead, and United States is one of those 8 teams. Very first tournament that they are ever playing. So they're creating a history. Thank you.
Thank you. More board member comments?
Board President?
Yes, Mr. Schneider.
I just wanted to comment on a couple things. First, very happy to hear we're kind of re-energizing the 2022 plan for the air conditioning. This week is brutal. I don't think the last couple of weeks of school and the first few are easy for our students, relating that directly to learning. It's not just the comfort, but it's actually the results in the classroom. I think by getting proper climate control, we've talked about this for years, it is in our long-range facilities plan, which makes me very happy, and I'm happy this board is supportive of that. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that Woodrow Wilson 50th anniversary celebration. Somebody brought up Arav Kumar, I think his name is, the gentleman that was sitting over here from Woodrow. That young man was actually the MC, if I remember correctly, right? He was the one on stage emceeing the whole thing. I think it was him, right?
Yes, it was him.
Yeah. And it was so cool. I mean, the best part of the entire the entire night for me was that they actually catered it. So I thought we would go there and they advertised there's going to be dinner served, but it was the students that actually cooked the food and the students served the food. So when you went up to the food line, they're actually actively serving you and everything. And it was just so cool to have a student-run event honoring decades and decades of Woodrow Wilson Middle School. It was also cool that all of the surviving administrators, including the very first principal from Woodrow Wilson, was there. And it was just so amazing. It was a great night. And you heard it audibly tonight how proud the current students are of Woodrow Wilson Middle School. They were yelling and screaming louder than everybody else. And it was just, that translated when we went to that 50th anniversary celebration. I just want to say thank you to Ms. Blevins and everyone that was involved. And otherwise, just really looking forward to the graduation at Jersey Mike's. It's going to be great. I hope to see everybody there, and it's going to be a blast. And the pomp and circumstance is always a great way to end the year. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider. Any more board member comments? Saying none. We'll now open up to public comments. Anyone for public comments? General public comments? Mrs. Conway.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I just have one question. You have a big undertaking starting in September regarding preschool. Is there any kind of update on the latest?
That's all? Okay. Dr. Tuhi, you want to provide an update? That would be great.
Very quickly, and Dr. A, I don't want to steal your thunder, but we're planning to hold a special education and preschool committee meeting ahead of the July Board event, so you'll get the information directly to the Board event and then present on that initiative at the August Board of Education meeting. I'm sorry if that's a surprise to anybody up there, but it's something that Dr. Alvarez and I just discussed, yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah, great. And just to piggyback on Dr. Tui's there, things are moving right along. Kudos to him and his team in relationship to this. He has two major undertakings this year that he has done an absolutely wonderful job and has led the process, and that couldn't be more pleased with the progress currently right now. And we are on schedule to begin the process of universal pre-K in September of 24.
Thank you. Next, public comments. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Matt, you can go ahead. You can go after Matt.
Oh.
Matt, you can go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Matt Rebnak. Couple things. First of all, Dr. Valdarelli, thank you on behalf of the staff and students on Friday for calling it a single session day today. By 10 o'clock this morning, those buildings were heating up. So we appreciate that. Second thing, just a couple acknowledgments. First of all, again, the student recognition, always a great night, the great things our kids do. But also for the graduating seniors, as always, I'm sure at Edison High, I know at JP, because I'm there. Again, the great colleges that these kids go into, representing our district as they move on in their life as well. Looking forward, as always, to graduation. Third thing is thank you again for attending Read Across America last night. We had our ETA-sponsored Read Across America Art Contest winners, and it's great to see, and it was a great turnout by the parents and students from really, pre-K up through the middle schools. So it was a nice night, and thank you. I believe, at least as long as I'm going, I think you're the only superintendent that has attended, so it's much appreciated. Fourth thing is, again, as was mentioned by some of the board members, great end of the school year. Thank you to all the staff, the students, and all. I just want to acknowledge, though, the special group. Again, we had our ETA retirement dinner a couple weeks ago. And, best wishes to all the retirees. As I mentioned, I was the MC, 1,400 plus years of service to the Edison School District is retiring. So we wish them all the best as they move into the next chapter of their life as well. And other than that, for those observing Juneteenth tomorrow, enjoy the day, the holiday, understand what it's about. And unfortunately, we have school, but everybody else has off. Hopefully everybody that celebrates it does, and understand what the holiday is about. Other than that, we won't see you again. So have a great summer to everyone.
Right, thank you so much. Speaking of the retirees, congratulations to all the retirees. I had a chance to attend the event, and congratulations, Jeff. You will be in a better place now with no stress or anything. But thank you all for your service over the years. Next for public comments. Yes, ma'am. We don't know you, so please say your name and.
Good evening, Susan Cox, 4 Tivet Lane, Edison.
Sorry about it.
I'm here to speak about damage that was done to my car, as well as many other vehicles, from work that was being done on our building. On November 22nd, 2023, I brought to the attention of my building administrator that there was residue on my vehicle. Mr. Colibus was made aware of the situation. I was told, along with other members of my building, to have my car washed and the residue would come off, and that we would be reimbursed for the car wash. That never happened. I did get my car washed. I did not get reimbursed yet. I also told my building administrator at that time that that did not resolve the situation. Mr. Colibus, along with representatives from High Grade, came to inspect the vehicles at our building to see the damage. Arrangements were made to have the car detailed at Precision Auto. My car was the first one done. It was done on December 19th. After it was detailed, I picked the car up. I drove around the block and went right back. I said to Ken, the owner, the residue is not off the car. I was then told that that was road debris. All of us that had the detailing done have been told the same thing. I ask, how does road debris get on my windshield, my driver's window, my passenger's window, my mirrors, my back window? This is not road debris. On May 13th, I wrote directly to Robert Pacone Jr., the president of High Grade, and that's the company that was working on our building. He asked for a few days to figure out the best way to remedy the situation. On May 30th, I wrote him again, told him it was more than 2 weeks, and asked for an update. Mr. Pacone wrote back, and I'm going to quote what he wrote. As stated before, we sympathize with the district and never intended to drag this out this long. We have done extensive research and concluded that the spray of polyurethane foam and silicone coating does not damage, pit, or crack glass. Please see the attached information provided by the detailer and the roofing manufacturer. I'd be happy to present that to you as well. But basically what it says is that they've been in business for 40 years, and clay barring should remove the residue. Precision Auto uses one type of clay bar. There are more than one type, and one specific type is needed for glass, which I don't believe was used on our vehicles. This, to me, is a safety hazard. I invite any of you to come sit in my car and look out the window and see what I am looking at every day driving in the sun or at night when headlights are coming. This is a safety hazard. At this point, I'm asking for the board's help. High Grade has offered us $300 to replace our windshield. As you all know, $300 will not replace the windshield, and as I said, it's not just the windshield. I would personally be happy with just my windshield being replaced because I need to see where I'm driving. At this point, like I said, I'm asking for your help to remedy the situation. I don't feel like I should be putting out money to repair my vehicle when this contractor was hired by the board. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next for public comments. Jeff?
Good evening, Jeff Bowden, ETA President. I just want to thank this board and all the boards of the past since I started in Edison as a student teacher in 1983. And I student taught at John Adams Middle School and was offered a position in September of '84 where I spent 28 years as a science teacher that taught over 3,000 students. Truly was the hardest job I've ever undertook. Even though Beryl says the stress here is not the same stress as you're teaching students every day. I had the honor of teaching at John Adams. We had a great community. We did a lot of great things there. In 2012, I was honored by being elected to the ETA president, where I've spent the last 12 years helping not children, but adults. That too is very rewarding. Gave me an opportunity to grow politically, grow in many areas I never expected to grow into. And I've worked with many great board members over those times. Also, negotiating contracts was one of my favorite things to do, having settled a total of 20 contracts since the mid-1990s. So I just want to thank this group of board members and wish you well in the future. My role now will just be advisory for Mr. Herevnik, who will be taking over August 1st. So if there's any issues in July, Dr. Aldarelli, I'm still on the clock.
Got it.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Patel.
Yes, Mr. Romano.
Hey, Matt. Yes. As long as Jeff's going to be around, you want to drive a bus? Thank you.
I agree with Mr. Romano. He always champions seeking more drivers, and I really appreciate his efforts in that direction. And thank you, Jeff. And we really encourage you to keep coming to the board meetings, please. We don't want to miss you that way, at least. Right. Next for public comments, Harish.
Hi, Harish Tatineni, 45 McKinley Street. So requesting few updates. Number one, any progress on the Stop Finder? The latest bus tracking app. I mean, it was supposed to be released 1 month before last year November elections, but I know afterwards more parents volunteered because they wanted a bigger sample size. So any update would be appreciated. Second, on similar note, regarding updates, any update about the capital projects that are going to happen over the summer? I know JPS is going on, but besides that, there were a couple of schools in the phase 1 which are yet to be attended. In one of those schools, recently, there was a snake that was noticed by grade 4 children, which came out from below the trailer, from the cracks in the cement. I could have exaggerated and created a huge drama on the social media, like some people do for everything, but that's not my goal. We all know at some point trailers have to be retired and proper expansion has to be done. So would appreciate any updates on those. Regarding the food, yes, I'm very pleased to hear that new options will be considered. The food options, as we discussed a few years back, they should be reflective of the demographics. Recently, someone from social media, just for pulling the leg, they said we should have cuisines from all over the world. I told them it doesn't make sense, and some of the reasons I gave was same as what Dr. Aldarelli said. Certain minimum threshold has to be there, quality standards have to be there, past experience and all that have to be met. So talking about food, in one of the elementary schools, last month, a child fell sick because she consumed expired milk. I mean, I don't want to get into the politics of voting for and against measures and all that nonsense. That's not my goal. I will just repeat what I have been repeating for last few months. any new project or food option or anything we introduce, that's good, but it has to be maintained. And for maintaining, we need to have certain policies and procedures. And one of the ideas that was suggested was principals of respective schools delegate somebody to check the quality at random. Of course, 100% checking is not possible. We all do understand that. So it would be nice if that could be seriously considered in the next meeting. Also good to hear that the policies regarding parental consent and all that are being discussed seriously. Since we are talking about policies, probably it's a good time to revisit the nepotism policies, which I talked about last year. I know we had a minor discussion about that significant other cannot be defined properly. It is a gray area. I believe domestic partner can be considered instead of a significant other. So that is one area to look at. And a big thank you to the entire board and administration for seriously considering the installation of AC units and all. I know we talked about that earlier, cost factors and other, but hopefully something will work out. And the community relations meeting, a lot of things were discussed about the vaping issues and all. So once again, thank you for taking that up seriously. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Do you want to answer some infrastructure questions?
Sir, I understand he has a litany of questions there from construction, so on and so forth. If you could give your contact information to Dr. Huss, and we'll give you a call and we'll have a conversation about those things. Thanks.
In the beginning of the meeting, there was a presentation about facilities update, so we can talk offline about that as well. But I think all the projects are pretty much moving forward, and the goal of this board is to move forward with all the phase 1 projects, and EHS is one of the phase 2 that's also in progress with the design, and really move forward, and nothing should stop. And on top of it, the board started discussing AC today, so the goal should be just move forward with everything. Right, thank you. Anyone else for public comments? Saying, oh, ma'am, yeah, there you go. Please state your name and address.
My name is Gerald Maglio. I'm from the Dolores Turco Foundation, and our mission is to protect children from abuse, neglect, and exploitation. I could probably save my comments for next week, but I must tell you, I am very impressed with your school district, with the quality of education that you provide, with the commitment and the high standards. I quickly, when I saw so many students with so many commendations and awards, I quickly looked up on online, and I see that you're in high school, and 72% of your students meet or exceed the standards, when the state average is 50. And I think it's 56% of your that's in English, and 56% of your students meet or exceed the math standards, and the average in the state of New Jersey is 25. And I think it reduced now to 20 because of some of the COVID, et cetera, whatever the issues are. So I do want to let you know that I'm glad I showed up today, even though I will probably be here for the next meeting on the, I do concur with, I guess Tony Mara may have been the one that's been bringing up some of these issues, and we encourage you to repeal that policy. I came prepared with information why the legal, the medical, the social, and just the moral reasons why this policy should be repealed. It's a 5-page summary. I'm happy to leave it with you today, or I can bring it next time. If I have a few minutes and you want to hear some comments, I'm happy to do that as well. But I realize you are going to have a session just for that, so you let me know.
I would love to have that
Brian,
in your document.
Brian, let the speaker finish.
Sure, I was just asking if that's what you'd like. I'm more than happy to leave the documents.
I'll take it.
And if you want some
And
comments.
let the speaker finish. She has the floor right now.
Yeah, if you want some comments today, I'll make some. If you prefer, I could leave my comments for next week. So I asked the president, do you feel I should take a few minutes to make some comments, or do you feel you prefer to keep that discussion for next time?
So, ma'am, you have a total of 6 minutes. You can go until the end of this time.
Okay,
if you'd like to.
so surely. Then for today, there's so much to talk about. Today, I'm going to focus on the legal and the law. And Policy 5756, firstly, I'm sure you know it's not mandatory, but parents do have the fundamental right under the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution to direct the upbringing, education, and care of their minor children. Federal courts are striking down these illegal and unconstitutional policies that infringe on parental rights. And the courts have ruled that it's one of the oldest, most fundamental liberty interests that Americans enjoy. One of the comments of a court case in California was further, the notion that government power should supersede parental authority in all cases because some parents abuse and neglect children is repugnant to the American tradition. I want to point out two more things about the transgender experiment is being recognized nationally and internationally as the biggest child abuse scandal of our lifetime. 25 states passed laws restricting these procedures on minors. Congress introduced two bills, Protecting Children from Experimentation Act and End Taxpayer Funding of Gender Experimentation Act, that would prohibit transgender procedures on minors nationwide and prohibit taxpayer funding of these procedures, regardless of the age. Another just happened this week. The courts that cover 12 states have struck down the Department of Education Title 19 law that prohibits sex discrimination in schools should now include sexual orientation and gender. That was struck down. Those laws are very similar to 5756 regarding males and female sports, and also harassment, the pronoun use, et cetera, considered harassment. And the judge in this case ruled that a rule that compels speech to engage in a viewpoint discrimination is impermissible. These policies violate freedom of speech, freedom of exercise of religion, and also are arbitrary and capricious. I think that covers most of the law that I wanted to speak about today. There's one other thing I'd like to mention today that just happened this week in terms of, I have a whole several pages on the research, but I would like to point out in the last few seconds here that just this week, a coalition of healthcare professionals led by the American College of Pediatricians launched Doctors Protecting Children Declaration. And that's sounding the alarm on the harmful transgender dysphoria protocols and calling the medical organizations, the AMA, Psychological Association, Endocrine Society, and all of these associations to stop the promotion of social affirmation, puberty blockers, sex hormones and surgeries for children, and also to define sex as male and female according to reproduction. So basically, there's a lot of things that are coming down the pike. These procedures are mutilating children, are sterilizing children, and as I mentioned before, it's being recognized.
Ma'am, your time is up.
Okay.
Thank you. So you can leave that with Ms. Cox, and she will be happy to hand over to all the board members. Right? Anyone else for public comments? Saying none, motion to end public comments.
Motion.
Mr. Romano?
Second.
Mr. Vishal Patel? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This is end of public comments. Now the board will move over to Donaldson hearing. We'll let our lawyer, Mr. Carrick, explain the board process before we get started.
Thank you, Board President Patel. So I'm just going to go over the Donaldson hearing process so that everyone has an understanding of it before we begin. Essentially, a Donaldson hearing occurs after a staff member has not received the recommendation of the superintendent for renewal. The staff member then has an opportunity to request a statement of reasons, and then following receiving that statement of reasons, has an opportunity to request what's called a Donaldson hearing. Basically, a Donaldson hearing is their opportunity to appear before the board and offer their reasons as to why they believe that they should be renewed, notwithstanding the superintendent's recommendation. It's an informal hearing. It's limited to a reasonable time. They can present witnesses, but the presenter and the witnesses are not subject to cross-examination. No one testifies under oath. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, that's the general process for a Donaldson hearing, and we would be ready to proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. So we can ask
The one other thing I
requester
would
of
say
the-
is, this is occurring in public at the request of the staff member. Oftentimes, this does occur in the executive session.
Okay. All right. So, Jeff, you want to go ahead?
was going to introduce.
So just want to make sure, Jeff, so Mr. Craig, how many times who gets, just let us know when they go for the hearing.
Okay, we've allotted a reasonable time frame. I think that we'll be fine with
Okay,
that.
perfect.
20
All right,
minutes,
Jeff,
correct.
thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Aldarelli, for having this meeting in a timely manner. I'd like to introduce to you Miss Sydney Nigro. She is an English teacher at Thomas Jefferson Middle School. She has been there just over a year, and she would like to comment tonight about her non-renewal, and bring up Cindy. These are for the board. Where would you like them, Mr. Patel?
Judy, if you can help with that, please.
I don't know if they might be timely for part of the discussion, though.
Okay, Mr. Toth will come in.
Thank you. They're just packets of the evidence that I use in my statement.
Mrs. Nigro, you're acknowledged. You can start.
I have wanted to be an English teacher since I was in the 7th grade. I'd always loved to write, but that year I saw my teacher breathe life into the stories we read in class every day. She called thunder and lightning outside our classroom window when Agatha Christie's Last Little Soldier fell. She looked us in the eyes and listened when one of us had something to say. She treated us like people instead of children, and I wanted to be like that. My path became clear. I would teach students to be authentic creators, critical thinkers, and empathetic people. English was just the way to get them there. As I grew up alongside the 21st century and became familiar with the messiness of living in the current climate, I realized that I had my work cut out for me. I only wanted it more. Every mentor, every observation, every class, every practicum, every substitute and student teaching placement confirmed that I was in the right place. I continued to hold myself to impossibly high standards and constantly tried to find new ways to grow as a teacher and a person because I believe that every student deserves to have the best teacher. I also believe that every teacher deserves a fair chance to become the best version of themselves. For this reason, I stand before the public and the Board of Education to implore you. Consider the possibility that I am an effective educator in your district and should continue to serve as such. I was first introduced to the schools in Edison through my student teaching experience at J.P. Stevens High School. I spent fall 2022 teaching AP Literature, AP Seminar, and Creative Writing under the mentorship of Danielle Durso, where I developed personal connections with faculty, administration, and students. A few weeks before my time at J.P. Stevens ended, I was observed teaching a lesson by both English supervisors as a potential long-term substitute. Mrs. Dunn contacted me shortly thereafter regarding an open permanent position that, at the time, was being filled at the personal expense of 5 selfless teachers, each taking on an extra class. My interview and hiring process was fast-tracked to fill the vacancy. Barely 3 weeks passed between my demo lesson for Mrs. Emden and when I shook Dr. Aldarelli's hand and signed my contract working at Thomas Jefferson Middle School. I began working at TJMS as a 6th and 7th grade English teacher on January 2nd, 2023. I was overwhelmed, anxious, excited, hopeful, all of the things that a new teacher should be. I shadowed for 2 days before taking sole responsibility for my classes. That first year of teaching challenged everything I knew about adolescence. I'm not sure if anyone else knows this, but 6th graders occupy a vastly different developmental stage than high school seniors. I will not stand here and say that the transition was smooth, that I never struggled to simplify a concept or regulate every emotional outburst from a student. That would not be the truth. And the truth is that I struggled a lot in those first few months. Many of my lessons were overly complex or lacked structure, but with time and support from other teachers, I began to find a balance that suited my personal teaching style while accommodating my students' individual learning needs. Still, things were far from perfect. My classes struggled to keep up with a level of academic rigor that they were previously unaccustomed to. I struggled to form meaningful relationships with students who were convinced that I, their third English teacher that year, was going to abandon them. But we both got better at confronting our own discomfort and taking risks, such as teaching an additional class for the last 5 weeks of the school year. Only months after starting at TJMS, I participated in the Teachers versus Students volleyball tournament, operated a table at the annual Book Joy event, and chaperoned the 6th grade field trip, all of which I have repeated in doing this past school year, while also taking on new challenges. After 6 months of being a teacher and 2 formal observations, I earned a 3.0 on my first summative evaluation in April of 2023. This year, I maintained my precedent of receiving positive observations. All 3 observing administrators deemed my teaching to be effective and received a score of 3.1 on my second summative evaluation. All 3 observing administrators attested that my classroom environment reflected a sense of mutual respect among both the teacher and students, as well among the students themselves, and that my instructional style provided an opportunity for the students to practice 21st century skills such as communication, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence. Additionally, 89% of my students met the targeted growth objective, 19% above the district's goal, via the standardized Linkit test. 100% of my students were either approaching, meeting, or exceeding standards. 98% of my students passed English class every marking period. 100% of my students with IEPs showed personal growth in 1 or more areas. And that's just data. The 2023-24 school year was also my first full year as a teacher, from setting up the classroom in August to taking everything down in June. I was the first English teacher that my students would have, and I was fortunate to teach them for the entire school year. I built the learning community in my classes that I had always dreamed of, and I'm proud of the work that I've done for my students and this district. Although I know there is still plenty of room for growth, I am reflective and introspective and demonstrate a maturity far beyond most teachers at this stage in their career, according to Lisa Caverly, a veteran teacher with whom I share a split class. My goal this year was to go beyond being a single teacher, to join with other passionate, empathetic, and effective educators to form a support system for each other and our students. These were not easy accomplishments. Many students began the school year performing well below 6th grade level, and the majority were ambivalent, if not outright opposed to the very concept of reading and writing. How can you teach someone who has no desire to learn? So I did what any effective teacher would do and called in reinforcements. Thankfully, Thomas Jefferson Middle School has a surplus of talented teachers. After my required mentorship with the literacy coach at TJMS ended, I continued to meet with Jamie Sacchi on a consistent basis to co-plan lessons and create scaffolds for struggling students. When Ms. Sacchi reached out to members of the English and special education departments on November 22nd about forming a professional literacy community, I joined immediately. This group of 8 dedicated teachers met 9 times throughout the remainder of the school year, where we would discuss the specific learning needs of our TJMS students and capture a variety of perspectives across grade levels. These professional meetings resulted in the shared creation of lesson plans and materials, classroom management techniques, and personal wellness strategies. When I struggled to engage students in my inclusion class, Ms. Zaki and I co-planned and co-taught 5 lessons in March, establishing successful reading and writing routines that address students' academic and emotional needs at all levels. In tandem with their academic needs, students' personal well-being is at the forefront of every lesson, every unit, every decision that I make. The first course that every education major takes at TCNJ is dedicated to fostering equity for students that are marginalized by society. I was taught that a student will only be willing to learn when they trust the person teaching them. And how can you trust someone that you barely know? I wanted my students to have the opportunity to know me outside of curriculums and content, so I volunteered to make myself known in various ways throughout the year. I shared my love of volleyball in the Teachers versus Students tournament in March and on the field trip to Iron Peak Sports Complex in May, where I spent over an hour playing with a rotating group of 6th graders, both my students and not. I shared my love of language by continuing to manage a table at the annual Book Joy event held on May 9th, and by co-founding the first debate club at TJMS with Ms. Saki, which culminated in a debate night held on May 29th in front of parents, friends, and Mrs. Emden. I shared my love of music by volunteering to chaperone the Cafe Night event on April 18th, where students performed songs and poetry, and by volunteering to chaperone the chorus students at the Spring Music Concert on May 15th. Looking to the future, I had also planned to join Kelly Ryan as assistant coach of the girls' volleyball team next school year, and had discussed the idea of founding a garden club with Mrs. Emden at my Cycle 3 observation meeting. On April 25th, I received an email from Mrs. Emden informing me that I was to meet with her the following morning at 8:50 with our ETEA building representative, Mr. Berner, present there. The following morning at the appointed time, Mrs. Emden advised me that the district had decided not to renew my contract for the 2024-25 school year. I nodded, too shocked to say anything. She then left an envelope on the conference room table and informed me that Mr. Berner would answer any questions I might have before leaving the room. I could not begin to list all of the questions that swirled around in my mind at that moment. All I could pin down was a giant question mark beating rapidly in my chest. I turned to Mr. Berner for any kind of answer that could explain being non-renewed after unanimously positive observations, a 3.1 summative evaluation score, and 89% of my students meeting or exceeding the targeted student growth objective. Unfortunately, Mr. Berner had no such explanation to offer. His wide eyes and furrowed brow mirrored my feelings of shock and confusion. There had been no official reprimands or warnings alerting me to the possibility that I was not completing my professional duties to the quality standard of this district's teachers. If there had been, I would not only have remembered, but already acted and corrected the issue. I demand excellence of myself for my students. I constantly evaluate my teaching and adapt to challenges. And most importantly, I ask for support when I notice that I'm struggling to achieve my full potential as an educator. I racked my brain for a moment before collecting myself and walked back to my classroom to teach my first class of the day at 9:15. Less than 30 minutes after being told that this school would no longer be my school. But I'm a teacher, and that was not going to change. I spent the following weeks caught between the mad dash to the last day of school and the need to resolve the question mark that continued to weigh me down. After multiple unsuccessful attempts by Jeff Bowden to ascertain the reasons behind my non-renewal from Human Resources and Dr. Aldarelli, I decided to contact Mrs. Emden in hopes of receiving an explanation from her. She responded to my request that Mrs. Dunn already provided feedback at my summative meeting. After reviewing the feedback on my summative evaluation and finding nothing that seemed to justify the decision to not renew my contract, I contacted my supervisor through email, requesting that we meet to clarify my confusion. By the time Mrs. Dunn was able to meet with me over a month after my initial request, I had received the official reasoning signed by Dr. Aldarelli. The reasons that were listed left me no less shocked or confused. The first policy that I was accused of violating is District Policy 3281, citing inappropriate staff conduct, because I used brain breaks to break up long lessons into manageable chunks, and I had one student with a history of documented behavioral struggles. The 6th grade English period lasts for 87 minutes. That is as long as the popular Pixar movie, Turning Red. Students cannot be expected to stay fully engaged and focused on academic assignments for 87 minutes without breaking them up with time to let their brains rest in between each task. Neurological and developmental research has shown that brain breaks boost mood or motivation, as well as restore the brain's peak performance so that students can remain attentive and receptive to new information throughout the lesson. Without these breaks to stand, stretch, and socialize, students end up walking around the room and talking to their friends during direct instruction, or playing games on their Chromebooks and falling asleep at their desks. Less structured brain breaks also create opportunities for classmates to get to know each other and form meaningful relationships. I acknowledge that there are instances where these breaks last a few minutes longer than they should. However, these instances have become less frequent as I grow in my professional role and have not inhibited my students' ability to learn. Similarly, the reasons for my non-renewal claim that I had no knowledge of a student's inappropriate behaviors in my inclusion class that resulted in 2 meetings with administration in November and December of 2023. However, I was aware of the student's struggles as early as October when I received an email from his mother. She informed me that her child was being bullied by other students in the school and that Dr. Falco was aware of and had been addressing the situation. The student's mother and I later spoke in person during the parent-teacher conferences on November 16th, after the matter escalated to involve verbal exchanges with another student in our class. I immediately seated the two on opposite ends of the room and tried every day to keep them from interacting. Mrs. Emden also held a meeting with all of this student's teachers on November 28th to discuss the matter. While I was unable to attend due to being sick that day, I received a summary of the meeting's events the following day where the other teachers reported that they were told to be vigilant and that not all instances of being bullied actually occurred. I continued to remain vigilant when the student was in my class. However, I was informed on December 4th that he was deemed capable of accelerated English, and effective the next day, this student was no longer in my class. I was never formally reprimanded for the inappropriate behaviors that had occurred in this class, nor was this class ever observed by any administrator on a formal or informal basis. The second policy that I was accused of violating is District Policy 3270, citing insufficient completion of my professional responsibilities because I did not review procedures and expectations in enough detail with my accelerated students who had prior knowledge of these norms. The official reasoning cited in my Cycle 1 and 3 observations of the same accelerated class said that I needed to model or provide an explicit instructional strategy for students to achieve the learning goal effectively. Following my Cycle 1 post-observation meeting with Mrs. Dunn on October 30th, I began using timers with more tasks than just the do now to ensure that my lessons kept an efficient pace. I prompted students to deepen their thinking by permanently displaying the unit essential question, and I assigned students group roles with specific responsibilities to ensure equal contributions during collaboration. All of these actions are explicitly noted in my Cycle 3 observation report. At my post-observation meeting with Mrs. Emden on March 20th, I expressed to her that all students were already aware of the lesson objectives and expectations, as there had been a book club meeting prior to the one that she observed. Students had received specific typed feedback on their individual performance in addition to verbal feedback as I circulated the room while they worked. However, I also agreed that I should be more explicit with my instruction at the onset of class to ensure that existing objectives are reviewed thoroughly before the students begin independent work, regardless of their prior knowledge. Ultimately, I still earned effective scores on both of the observations referenced. I also received 11 highly effective ratings and only 2 partially effective ratings across all 3 of my observation scores this year. The third violation is found in the teacher job description, citing insufficient completion of major duties and responsibilities because I chose not to participate in a small selection of voluntary professional development opportunities that were offered to a multitude of teachers. The first opportunity that is mentioned refers to an email my supervisor sent on February 21st, saying that she would like the opportunity to plan and co-teach a lesson with me. I interpreted this opportunity to be optional, but recognized the importance of such professional collaborations. So I asked Jamie Saki, who my students already knew and trusted, for in-process literacy coaching. I felt that my teaching and my students, particularly those that struggled the most with reading and writing, would benefit by receiving support from someone within the school community who is well acquainted with the specific needs of the student population at TJMS. The second and third professional opportunities cited refer to voluntary open invitations from staff development and Mrs. Emden that were given to all first-year and untenured teachers. Any such professional meetings would have had to be completed outside of contract hours. And as a first-year teacher that was already attending regular professional learning community meetings, managing the debate club, and volunteering at co-curricular events, I did not want to spread myself too thin. There had been 4 English teachers in my classroom in less than a decade, and I was determined to maintain a healthy balance so that I could do my job to the best of my ability for years to come. I had only received positive observations and was never informed that there were concerns about my performance as a teacher. I exceeded the required number of professional development hours both this year and last. I completed a Professional Development Institute course through staff development in the spring of 2023. I took part in the voluntary non-tenured check-in meetings hosted by Mrs. Emden when possible and made up the meeting's activities when not, such as on January 29th. I sought support and resources from Lisa Caverly when I had students who struggled with foundational literacy. I visited Taylor Brulow's class on April 19th, 1 week after my supervisor suggested that I observe other teachers at my summative meeting, and applied her group collaboration strategies to a peer review assignment in my class. I may have chosen not to engage in every professional development opportunity, but I did avail myself of professional development and support from experienced teachers and leaders in my building. I believe that I have done all I can to show you that after 16 months, I am an effective teacher who consistently evaluates my performance and addresses gaps in my practice. I believe that my classification in the official reasoning as an average teacher directly opposes all of the evidence and testimony that has been presented this evening. I believe that I was not given explicit notice that I had not demonstrated acceptable growth, nor enough time to show that I had. I believe that all of my classes would have been observed if there were serious concerns about the quality of my teaching. I also believe that it is irresponsible to not renew an effective teacher's contract when there are currently multiple open positions in this district that are identical to hers. Students deserve to have teachers that are a reliable presence in the classroom, and teachers deserve to do their jobs without having to take on additional classes when positions go unfilled. That is why I've chosen to be here today, for them. All I ask is that each of you, elected members of the board, choose what you believe is best for them too. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. No. Okay. So Jeff, you want to say something?
There was one additional speaker that just wanted to say a few words, but I know we did use the 20 minutes.
You can go ahead.
Good evening, Dr. Aldarelli, board members. My name is Janine Hinterstein, 450 Division Street. I'm a 24-year veteran teacher at Thomas Jefferson Middle School. I teach Spanish. I'm here tonight because I want to do my part in us not letting a good teacher go. I wanted to share my experience in Ms. Nigro's classroom. Truth be told, she was not there. She was absent. I was covering her class, which makes this even more impressive and speaks volumes of the classroom culture that she creates. So I was covering Ms. Nigro's, it was her second or third period class. I walked into the classroom. The kids were so welcoming to me. It was like I was going into someone's home. They were very helpful. I took attendance. And then I was about to start giving them the directions for the lesson plans that Ms. Nigro had left, but they had already started working. And they told me they were good. So I looked at the plans Ms. Nigro left, and I proceeded to walk around the room and check the Google Classroom and check what was on their computers because I didn't want to be hustled by a bunch of 11-year-olds. Anyway, they stayed on task. They worked together collaboratively. At one point during class, I saw a student who looked like he might not have been on task on his Chromebook, and when I got up to walk over, another student had already said, you know, Ms. Nigro said when you're done, and she started listing the 3 things they could be doing when they were done with their assignment. So, I mean, it was like I was not necessary to even be there. Her classroom was a well-oiled machine. Even in her absence, Ms. Nigro had a class culture that was based on respect, on collaboration, and very, very clear class expectations. I share this with you because as a 24-year veteran of Edison Schools and a 1987 graduate of Edison High School, I know that this can't be manufactured. You can't just slap this together and expect it all to work, especially when you're not there. So I implore you to please take this little bit of information I've given you and please think about the volumes it speaks about the practice of Ms. Nigro, what she brings to Edison, and what she does. Thank you so much for giving me the extra time.
Thank you.
We thank the board for listening. We hope that you reconsider her non-renewal. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Right, so at this point, just from the discussion with our attorney, if someone wants to or wishes to do a motion for any action, they can go ahead. I'll give it a few seconds. No motion. All right, so attorney, what's the next course of action? Mr. Carrick? There was no motion, so what's the next course of action?
It would be to move on to your next item on your agenda. With no motion, the decision of the superintendent remains.
Okay, thank you. So at this point, the board will adjourn to privilege session. In accordance with NJSA section 10.412, the Edison Township Board of Education returns to confidential session for the purpose of discussing the following: confidential personnel matters. Motion to adjourn to privilege session.
Make the motion.
Mr. Romano. Second. Mr. Schneider. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
We are adjourned to privilege session. Okay, and we may come back if the board decides to take action. Meeting adjourned to privilege session. Reconvene to open session. Motion to reconvene.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
We don't have any other agenda items or discussions at this point. We'll do a motion to close
Motion.
the board meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.